throwdown.
Well, that's a lot of fans out there.
Look at that. The drama keeps continuing, Jenny.
This is just brilliant.
He strikes. Starts as you mean to go on.
But this is the danger of the top two guys, and that nuclear weapon that is.
Whoa, hello, goodbye. Score! In the back of the net.
And shoots. Score!
Of Serie A action. We'll bring you so much of it here on DAZN.
Magnificent. That is tremendous.
Catching up on any NFL game is easier than ever before.
Going deep for it all. Devontae Smith. He has got it. Touchdown.
Your Eagles are world champions again.
DAZN is the home of boxing.
Really spurs you on, gets you going.
Let's make history. Pure power. There's no way back from this, surely.
The following program is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
For over a century, the Ring magazine has been the definitive word on the fight game. 13 months ago, the Bible of Boxing relaunched, and the new era was marked by the introduction of an annual awards ceremony, the Oscars of Boxing. Last year, we were in Greenwich, London for the first edition. Tonight, we hit the Big Apple. Very warm welcome, everybody, to the 2025 Ring Awards, coming to you live tonight from New York City. We are at the magnificent Cipriani 25 on Broadway as we get ready to celebrate another incredible 12 months inside the squared circle. We've got 9 prestigious awards to hand out this evening to recognize those who made 2025 such a great year for boxing. It really does promise to be a special night in the city that never sleeps. Welcome inside this majestic venue, Cipriani 25, an Italian neo-Renaissance architectural treasure in the heart of Lower Manhattan. My name's Kate Scott. With me this evening, the Ring senior insider Mike Coppinger and former world champ Sergio Mora. This is a fantastic venue. I'm sure it's the kind of place you come all the time, Mike, is it?
That's right. Tuck's ready to go. And I went to the Ring Awards last year in London. Yep. It was an amazing event. Can't wait for this one, Kate.
Absolutely. Sergio, this is the second year, as Mike mentioned, that we've got the Ring Awards. What would it mean to, what would it have meant to a fighter in your era to have something like this to kind of mark the year in boxing?
It's incredible to be around beautiful people in a beautiful event. I mean, it's lavish.
Talking about Mike?
That's what you want as a fighter. You want to be around these environments. You want to be appreciated for what you do, what you bleed for. These awards are necessary for the fighters, and it's a beautiful thing.
You speak to fighters all the time. What do they say about an event like this?
They tell me that they can't even believe we have this now. I mean, think about it. For years, we've had nothing. We've had like the Boxing Writers Award. They put in like a dingy bingo hall. So this is really a great event. I mean, look at the ceiling here.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's incredible.
It was, like I said, last year in London it was freezing. We're back in New York. It's like 7 degrees Fahrenheit. So
cold out there.
Feeling warm in here, though, right?
Yes, it's nice in here. It's lovely. Let's talk about your guys' favorite moment of 2025. I know that's not one of the awards, but if you had to pick one, what would it be, Sergio?
I loved what Naoya Inoue was doing on the top level, just protecting his undisputed belt 4 times for an undisputed champion to fight 4 times in 2025. Incredible. I think Inoue was my fighter of the year. He was incredible, and beating the best, beating undefeated fighters, and doing it on the big stage.
What about you, Mike?
So many great moments come to mind. Of course, dropping a ring in the middle of Times Square was crazy.
Yes.
Better Be a Bivol rematch was one of the best fights of the year. But I have to go with Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. I mean, that was boxing at the highest level, 70,000 plus at a stadium, Crawford cementing his legacy. So for me, that was the moment of 2025.
And on Netflix as well. How big did that moment feel for boxing to be on a platform like that with a big super fight?
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy, right? 40 million plus global viewership, all the bells and whistles. And Canelo and Crawford delivered an amazing fight. So
how did it feel to have that many people watching you? A little nerve-wracking?
A little nerve-wracking, just a little bit, yeah. Not for you, though, Kate.
No, for me as well, yeah, for sure. How about any fighters that you've spied in the room so far, Sergio? Anybody stand out that you've seen making their entrance so far today?
I think Usyk just stands out. He exudes, attention.
Is he here already?
Yeah, he was here. He passed by. Big man, bigger than I thought. Usyk just demands attention. He's done so much for the sport. Everyone knows him internationally now. So Usyk, I got a little chills when he passed by him. He's a big man.
What about you, Mike?
Yeah, you already stole Usyk, so I'm going to go with Artur Beterbiev. I just spoke to Beterbiev for a little bit. He said he's itching to get back into the ring. He was supposed to return in November, and now he's looking for a third fight with Bivol. And he joked around and said if he sees Bivol here, he's going to chase him around.
Are you always looking for news?
Always.
Always.
You got to keep it out there.
Always on the hunt. Is there a category that you're most interested in, Sergio, in terms of knowing what the outcome is?
Maybe Fight of the Year, because Bivol Beterbiev, the rematch was incredible, but there's so many great categories, so many other people, fought their hearts out, but that's the one that I think I'm curious about. For me, it's Beterbiev Bivol.
All right, everybody. Well, it's fantastic to be here. What a night in boxing. The good and the great of the boxing world are already starting to pull up here, as you can see on Broadway, as we count down to the 2025 Ring Awards. The guest list tonight is just a who's who of the boxing world. Let me just tell you very briefly about the 9 categories that are going to be honored this evening. Throughout the course of the evening, we'll crown the male and female fighters of the year, the best fight, best knockout, upset, round, best prospect. Those will all be revealed, along with 2025 standout trainer, and the Lifetime Achievement Award will celebrate the work of one of boxing's legendary figures. The guest list for this evening is long, ladies and gents, and it is star-studded. Let's head over to the red carpet and Barak to hear from some of the legends who are in attendance tonight. Guys.
This sport's been around longer than any other sport in the world. I'm doing very well, thank you.
So which category are you most excited for?
But yet, people can get the information on the history of baseball, football, basketball so much easier. Tennis, all those sports.
Absolutely.
Golf,
so what do you think
they
about
can
this
get
event?
the information on that, but yet they don't know the history of boxing because there was nobody tabulating it in the proper way. It's out there, but nobody putting it in a way where it can be seen by the public.
Absolutely,
young people could know
now,
about fighters like Henry Armstrong,
it goes back
Sam Langford, who had 300
maybe
fights
even knockdowns,
and beat everyone from lightweight to heavyweight. Are you kidding me?
Well, there's one gentleman that is being recognized tonight who's done it in his own right. Larry Merchant. Talk to me about what he accomplished in the sport, like the impact that he had in boxing.
One of the great journalists. I mean, he was tremendous. And I just loved his essays, on the air. What a brilliant mind.
Well, you won on all the judges' scorecards on that particular round
collection
as well.
of thoughts on a moment.
All right, so we're with the flashiest guy in boxing today. Look at, he comes real fly. And in the ring, you're fly too as well, Ben Whitaker. You're known for your flashiness. Can you continue that as the competition gets bigger and better?
Yeah, of course. I think I showed it in the amateurs, in the Olympics and things like that. And as of now, my last 2 fights have been about business, getting them out of there. But you'll see this year. I'll be back.
Getting them out of there early was the first and second round, correct?
Yeah, something like that.
So that's what we're going to see now, the Ben Whitaker with the power. Even though you can sidestep and play around, you're sitting down on your shots.
Yeah, I think it's a dangerous combination. I can hit, I can make the miss. I look.
You don't mind if Usyk crosses in front of you, do you?
Yeah, I'm pretty well. I do it. Yeah, go bro. What you saying, man? You good? These boys reckon they interview, man.
They don't recognize the swag. Something's wrong here.
Nah, at the end of the day, it's one of the GOATs, man, so you gotta let him do his thing. But I hit from all different angles, and now I'm showing I can hurt people too. So for me, it's an exciting year for me this year.
And you gotta back up. When you talk a lot, you gotta back it up, and you're backing it up. So what's next for you?
What's next for me? I'm out here. I was talking to Eddie. It's looking like March, April. I'll be fighting in America. So that's the next stage, and then from there, keep winning, looking good. We'll see.
Okay, now, truthfully, do you have your acceptance speech written already in your head?
I better do. If not, I'm going in there like Kanye did Taylor Swift, man. I'm saying, yo, I deserve that damn award. So, yeah, I've already got my stuff, so I'm excited.
You think you're going to win?
I better do. I better do.
All right, who do you think is going to win Fighter of the Year?
Oh, it's got to be Terrence. Yeah, it's got to be Terrence, what he's done. He's done great, and I'd like to see him win it.
All right, so if you had a chance next year to win any award here, which one would it be?
Truthfully, I thought I should have 2 this year. I should have got knockout of the year too. But,
that's a good point.
Yeah, that was it. But I'll probably say knockout of the year. You know what I mean? There's some great fighters out there. Unless I win a world title, you know what I mean? So probably knockout of the year and something like that would be nice. You know what I mean?
All right, will you be nervous if you win tonight?
No, not really. Not really. I've written down in my notes a couple of times what to say.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for spending time with us. Ben Whitaker. All right, so we're with light heavyweight Callum Smith. How you doing this evening?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you? Good.
I'm doing very well, thank you. So which category are you most excited for?
The one I'm in, I think, round of the year, hopefully I've got to say that. But it's a good show, some good fights this year. Obviously a lot of good fighters, so I'm looking forward to it. And it's a pleasure to be here amongst some of the best fights of the sport.
Oh, absolutely. So what do you think about this event?
Yeah, it's good. I was at last year's one. It's good to see so many. Like I said, I think we're all boxing fans first and foremost before fighters, and it's good to see some of the best fighters, pound for pound in the sport, all under one roof. So yeah, it's good to be here as the boxing fan in myself.
Absolutely, I feel the same way. Now, usually round of the year means that it goes back and forth, both bloody, maybe even knockdowns. Do you feel like it was like that?
No, I don't think it was back and forth. I think it was me on top for most of the round, and he finished strong as well. So it was kind of a swing round rather than back and forth. But it was a good round. It was a good fight altogether. I think those 12 rounds were competitive. We pushed each other. It takes 2 to tango, so I think credit has to go to Joshua Batty as well. But yeah, it was a good fight to be a part of. Hopefully I don't have too many like that.
Well, you won on all the judges' scorecards on that particular round as well. And then in 16 seconds he caught you with something. Were you hurt?
No.
16 seconds left, that means, in that round.
No, to be honest with you, I knew he lands a good shot, and I'd used a lot of energy that round, and I knew he was going to kind of get excited and put the pressure on, so I knew they weren't long left in the round, so it's kind of just took up and stay land. And if anything, he caught me with a good body shot. So when I went back the round, and my coach said, I said, look, I'm okay. I didn't feel a headshot. I felt the body shot, to be fair. But yeah, I was okay. But it was a good competitive round, and it was good to be a part of.
Well, you got a good poker face, because I didn't even see that one. Yeah. All right, so with all these festivities going on, can you still focus on what's next for Callum Smith?
I've got a pace bid Monday. I think I've obviously held the WBO Interim Championship, and the WBO have given me a mandatory in Davin Morel, so I should know Monday a little bit more about when and where that's going to be. But it's a good fight. He's a very good fighter, and like I say, the winner puts himself in a very good position to become a world champion again.
All right, so last question. Who do you think is going to be Fighter of the Year?
Fight of the Year, probably Crawford. Terence Crawford.
Thank you very much, man. Enjoy your evening. Callum Smith.
All right, fight fans, we're here at the second annual Ring Magazine Boxing Awards, and we're here with one of UK's finest, my man Joshua Buatsi. I remember seeing you in Sheffield in 2018, training, quiet, head down. I don't know if you remember, we were there to film something for AJ, and AJ and another gentleman said, that guy's next, he's going to be the next guy. Talk to me about from 2018 till today. Did you see the trajectory in your career to be this successful?
No way. Highly blessed, and we take it for granted. And I say to all the fighters here, we take it for granted that we're here. But as we know, some fighters have stepped into the ring and never came out the same. But we're all here fit, healthy. You're looking good, the haircut, the beard, everything, you know. So I didn't see all of this happening, you know. We just thank God that the hard work that we put in the dark showed up in the light, you know.
And I love the fact that you fighters have a night like this, right, where you get to get dapper. What do you have on today? I got to know.
The truth is, I don't know what I got on. I picked it up a few hours before the flight. They didn't try it on. I tried it on an hour ago when I came here.
So you didn't get it cut up, trimmed or nothing. So your body is just shaped perfectly to fit a suit.
I appreciate the compliment. Thank you, my man. Yeah.
Well, you look good yourself, man. Tell me what you're most looking forward to seeing tonight.
Look, I think it's the fighters getting credit, and especially the ones that don't win anything or the ones that are not even nominees. We all deserve something, man. It's a hard job that we do, and just hats off to every fighter that's here, man. You know, whether we win something or we don't, it's a hard sport. So listen, I respect all fighters, and yeah, man, respect to everyone.
Well, looking forward to seeing you in the ring again this year. Go enjoy the night, get some food, and relax.
Sir, appreciate it. Thank you.
Buatsi. All right, folks, I have one of my favorite people in all of boxing right here. She's up for Female Fighter of the Year, Miss Katie Taylor. First off, Katie, you look phenomenal. Talk to me about fighters being recognized in an event like this, in an award show like this. What does that mean to you? I know this is towards the tail end of your career, so maybe you might not be a part of many award shows, but you're part of this one. What does it feel like?
It's incredible to be rubbing shoulders with some of the best fighters in the world, and to see people's achievements being recognised tonight. It's such an amazing event. I'm standing next to Terence Crawford here, the best fighter of our generation, basically. And no, these moments are so special, and I just want to make the most of these moments right now. Since, like I said, this is near the end of my career, and I can actually just soak it in and just enjoy these moments.
You know, you're a sweet woman outside the ring, very nice, very humble, but in the ring you're a competitor, right? This is a competition to some degree today, right? Fighter of the Year. You want to win, right? Have you, what's your take on the other nominees for Fighter of the Year?
Yeah, well, every single female fighter up for the award tonight, Michaela Mayer, phenomenal. She had an outstanding year. In my opinion, she probably deserves to get this award, to be honest. Ellie Scotney's phenomenal. There's every single fighter on the card is amazing, and it's just great to be a part of these awards. And but I don't think if you build your life on accolades and achievements, you're not going to get very far in life. So I'm okay either way. I'm just going to enjoy the night tonight.
Well, you do have a spot in your mantle with all of your belts for that trophy, just in case.
Well, my mom has it, yeah. My mother has.
Yeah, your mom has.
My mother has all the trophies laid out and stuff, but yeah, they're basically her trophies at this stage.
Can you give me your pick of the Male Fighter of the Year?
Yeah, well, Terence Crawford.
Are we standing next to him?
Yeah. I can't speak badly about him, but yeah, I mean, he's what an amazing year he's had. What an amazing win, and I'm so glad he finally got that big win on Netflix. And against one of the best fighters in the world, Canelo, and an outstanding performance, a dominant performance, and nearly a perfect performance, one of the best performances you'll ever see in a boxing ring. Yeah. So you can't look past Terence Crawford for tonight.
I think that's a no-brainer. Now, before you get out of here, I just asked Bud, who's newly retired, what is he most looking forward to? Though you're not retired, it's coming soon, and you've alluded to that. What are you most looking forward to when your career is all said and done?
What did Terence say about that?
He said looking forward to spending time with his children. Yeah. Well, you don't have any yet, so what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, no, I have a few stepkids though, so definitely looking forward to spending a bit of time with family and yeah, just enjoying the fruits of my labour, basically. I'm looking forward to not getting punched again. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a lovely season for me also. I'm actually excited about that part of my life also.
Well, good luck for that next chapter in your life. I'm going to let you go and enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you so much.
Katie Taylor.
Thank you.
Does he really need an introduction? I say he's the greatest heavyweight of all time. I've said it on record. All right, Mr. Lennox Lewis. First off, Lennox, you look great. Talk to me about an award show. During your time, you didn't have anything like this. Are you a bit jealous?
Yes, I am. Actually, this is great. This is great for boxing. They need to get some awards, and you need to find out, you know, different factors about each boxer. Who's the best boxer? Who's the hardest puncher? All those different things.
Yeah, no, I mean, when we were younger, we thought about those things in our head. Who had the fight of the year? But to actually pick nominees and then somebody getting an award and fighters getting recognized, what does that do to a fighter's confidence when he's actually being recognized?
It boosts his confidence and makes him feel good, for one thing. And, it's a thing that needs to be done.
You know, people are talking about the fighter of the year, like fighter of the year, 2025 fighter of the year. Do you have in mind already who you think is the winner in that category?
Yes.
Okay, but you won't say?
I think everybody knows.
Listen, Lennox, outside of this, what is your assessment of boxing in this era right now with what Turki Al-Sheikh has been bringing to the sport, right? The impact that the ring Riyadh season has had on the sport. Talk to me about that.
He's had a tremendous impact on boxing. Bigger shows, fights that you want to see, bigger money, venues. I mean, look at this venue. This is a great venue. So all that.
Before you get out of here, Lennox, give me one fight that you want to see in 2026. One matchup.
Well, I can't really say. There's too many fights out there.
You can think of one. Who's your favorite fighter right now that, active? Too many. Yes. So you're loving the sport right now and everybody involved.
Yes,
it's a pleasure talking to you, Lennox.
Bless.
The GOAT, Lennox Lewis.
Yes, he is the GOAT, former undisputed champ Lennox Lewis in the building. You always know it's a big night when Lennox turns out. Welcome back, everybody. Good to have you with us over here in the Mingle Zone. That's what I believe what it's referred to as. Kate Scott with Sergio Mora. Chris Mannix joining us as well. This is actually going to be your beat, isn't it? This is where you're going to be at.
It is. A lot of great fighters hanging around here. They have told Sergio and I that we can't drink, so that's a bummer.
I think it's better for all of us if Sergio doesn't drink.
Better for all of us. The Mexican.
I'm going to be all right. I mean, I'm going to take it easy tonight. I'm working.
There are a lot of great fighters, a lot of great champions, a lot of great nominees right here in this room.
Yes.
We're going to be catching up with them all throughout the course of the night.
I want to talk to you about one of the categories, because one of the most prestigious and historic prizes that's given out at the Ring Magazine Awards is for Fight of the Year. So 2025, give me your picks. Fight of the Year, Sergio.
Fight of the Year, I think for Undisputed, better be if Bivol too. I mean, it had everything. Bivol was on the front, on the back foot boxing. Better be if a monster. He wants to go for the knockout, one of the highest knockout ratios in boxing. But no knockout, it was still a fantastic fight with all the belts on the line. That's mine.
Same pick, or are you going a different direction?
Yeah, if it was for event of the year, I would call Chris Eubank, Conor Benn, Part 2, the best event of the year. That was unbelievable. Running it back at Tottenham and Conor Benn coming up from multiple weight classes to win that fight. But I got to go with Sergio here. Better be a Bivol, too. That was a clash between the top two guys at 175 who just had an incredible fight months earlier. They run it back. Unbelievable performance by Dimitri Bivol, who rallied in the second half of that fight to pull out a win.
A couple of fights that weren't nominated in that category that maybe surprised me was Usyk against Dubois, Crawford against Canelo. Did you think either of them were worth a nod?
Well, look, I think Bud only fought one time, so it was a sensational fight against Canelo. Canelo is the number one, pound for pound star, and whenever you beat the star, you have to acknowledge that. But they weren't at their absolute best. So I really think, the event of the year could be different. I don't think that was mine for sure.
Yeah, there's no Brit in the house that wouldn't have chosen Eubank Ben, by the way.
That was a great one. But you mentioned Usyk Dubois. That was a lot of fun, too. Like, just Usyk, the way he's run through all of these great British champions. Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Dane Dubois twice, beating them a total of 6 times. And to see Usyk, and there was some controversy in that first fight. Did Dubois land a clean punch on the belt line? Was it a low blow? To see Usyk come back and definitively settle that score, that was really impressive.
Yes, it was. We were talking about Terence Crawford. The man is here. Let's listen to what he has to say on the red carpet.
All right, fight fans, I got not only the best boxer in the world, but my brother Terence Crawford. Look, you're up for the fighter of the year. Everybody's saying it's a no-brainer, right? But before we get into that, Bud, Talk to me about what Turki Al-Sheikh has done to the sport. I mean, we could never imagine having an award show that looks like the Oscars to recognize boxers. What does that mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot, you know. It's somebody that really cares about the fighters and the sport of boxing. You know, at one point in time, boxing was the #1 sport, you know, in America. So, you know, it's great to see we, as the fighters, that put our life on the line, getting the recognition that we rightfully deserve.
Yeah, and it's not only the actual winners, but the fact that they have nominees, so other people at least get a light shed on them. They might not win, but people recognize, and you also was a good fighter this year.
Yeah, for sure. You know, that's what I'm saying. You know, it's a great feeling to be a part of this. I appreciate Turki Al-Sheikh and Riyadh Season for all that they do for the sport of boxing, and boxing is on the rise.
Does it feel different, though, coming to a boxing event knowing that you are no longer a professional active fighter? I mean, does it feel different for you?
A little bit, you know, because, you know, I didn't put it behind me, but, you know, I still got that fight in me. But at the same time, it feels great to be one of the pioneers that paved the way for the younger fighters that's coming behind me.
So you're still sizing people up, other fighters up?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Anybody that you're looking forward to seeing, like I'm talking about coming up in the sport? Like obviously you've done so much for the sport, but outside of Shakur, we know you're very close to him. What other fighters do you think have a bright future in the sport?
It's hard to say. You know, you look at these fighters, and you think they got potential to go a long way, and you know, roadblocks happen and things happen, and you know, you get disappointed. So I just let time handle that.
They have to keep proving it in the ring over and over again.
It's tough. It's tough because once you get to a certain plateau in the sport of boxing, then you got a big bullseye on your back, and it's hard to stay at the top.
And I mean, look, you're no longer in the sport, but it seems like you still have a bullseye because people are still saying he's going to come out of retirement. I want to see him when he come back. I mean, are you really content, or is there a little piece of the back of your mind saying something could bring me back?
No, I'm great. I'm great where I'm at. You know, what more can I do? You know,
nothing.
What more can I accomplish? You know, so I'm happy. I'm content. I'm blessed. I'm thankful. I'm grateful for what I did in the sport of boxing, and what better way to finish than what I did September 13th.
I mean, it can't get any better than that, but I'll tell you what, you've been looking good, lady. You look good today. We've seen you modeling recently, right, with some ads. Are we going to see more of Bud in some big campaign ads?
Hey, listen, who knows? You know, I'm up for a lot of things. You know, now that I'm no longer boxing, I can focus on other things. And
what are you most excited about now that you don't have to fight anymore? What do you excited to look forward to?
Just spending time with my family.
The kids.
My kids, you know, being there for them more, and that's it. Traveling the world.
Well, listen, there's no question that you are the fighter of the year, fighter of the decade, and so on and so forth. It's been a pleasure to cover you over the years and actually call your brother and a friend. Let me let you go enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll see you later.
Appreciate it.
Okay, we're with the champ, Dalton Smith. Do you feel like a champ?
I mean, when you've got Usyk walking past, you know, it kind of brings you back down a little bit. But yeah, like you say, I feel honoured being here as a champ amongst all these names. So yeah, it's a good feeling.
Well, we look at you as a champ, that's for sure. The press loves you. You had a performance of a lifetime. Was that your greatest performance, or you feel like you got more inside?
Of course, there's a lot more, you know, and I proved that every fight. But you know, no argument, it was my toughest fight. You know, but I always knew the toughest fight brings the best out of me, and that's what it did. And you know, I think it was a fight what the fans enjoyed. It was entertaining, and I think it was the best way to win a world title.
All right, so where do you think your name should be at in all of these categories?
I think Sabril was probably the most avoided fighter. You know, and I did something what nobody's done yet. You know, so I think that stamps my name down as, you know, one of the top ones at 140. But look, I've still got a lot more proving to do now, so we bring on the bigger fights.
Do you think fighters were avoiding him?
Of course there was.
So you beat the boogeyman?
Of course.
So what's next for Dalton Smith?
like I said, it's the most stacked division, 140 pounds. So obviously you see the big fight tomorrow. You know, the other names, look, it's massive. There's some big fights to be made.
So who wins that fight tomorrow with Teofimo and Shakur Stevenson?
I'm going Shakur on points, but look, it's a 50-50 fight. You know, both, you know, pound for pound greats, and you know, the only thing is Shakur moving up at the new weight. You know, he's not going to play a big effect, but I'm going to go Shakur on points.
Okay, that's a good bet. Who do you think is going to win tonight, Fighter of the Year?
Fighter of the Year? Oh, it's a tough one. Crawford.
Okay, now last question. Where do you think your name will be at in the categories next year?
In the rankings or the categories?
Any cat. Pick any of the 8 categories. Where do you think your name will be at?
It's going to be up there at the top.
Let's say I'm talking about like fighter of the year, or fight of the year, round of the year, upset of the year. Where do you think your name will be?
I mean, I think the Sabriel fight could be up there with, you know, potentially one of the fights of the year. So, you know, we'll see.
Congrats on your success, and have a good night.
Thank you.
All right, folks, I'm joined here by one of America's most exciting fighters, Philly's own Jaron Boots Ennis. Jaron, first off, I need to know what you got on, because you've been styling lately. Who you wearing?
Right now, I don't even know what I got on. I don't even know what I got on.
I know you got the Prada shoes.
Prada's on for shoes, little jewelry. I forgot what this was called, dog. I had this for like a while.
So I mean, what a night like this, right, where fighters get to dress up, walk the red carpet, sit down, fine, dine, and receive awards. Tell me about how that feels.
I mean, it felt great to be around, you know, all this talent, and good to see everybody, and hope everybody keep doing their thing, and it's a good thing to be around, good atmosphere.
When you be in this atmosphere, even though you guys are suited and booted, do you still be looking like sizing people up, fighters up that are in your weight class?
Yeah, for sure. So, people that's in my weight class, even guys that's a little bit bigger, I know I'm gonna see them one day. So for sure, you definitely always going. You at the end of the day, you're a competitor, so you're going to size anybody up. So
you're like, wait a minute, I could go up to 160, 168.
For sure.
So, do you have in mind who is going to win the Fighter of the Year? I mean, that's a big award people are talking about.
Who's gonna win the Fighter of the Year? Probably. I don't know the nominees or anything. So, but I mean, I'm pretty sure Bud gonna win that. Yeah, you know.
That's what people are.
Is there any way in it? Is there any way in it?
In a way, Bud. Yep.
It's probably gonna be the Bud anyway. So yeah.
So, do we have any news for Jaron Boots Ennis? Any fight news? Something that's being discussed? Because we know that the Virgil Ortiz has some issues with a lawsuit. What's the next thing in line?
Just stay tuned. That's all I'm gonna say. Just stay tuned and have your fingers crossed. That's
soon.
Real soon. Just have your fingers crossed. Hopefully, we make that thing.
Well, you look in shape like you don't need to trade too hard, so you ready?
Yeah, I'm always ready to stay in shape, and I'm ready. Like I said, I'm ready to put on the biggest possible fights and show the world why I'm the best in the world.
Philly, stand up, Jaron Boots Ennis. Enjoy your night.
Yep, thank you.
Well, I'm here with one of our nominees for Women's Fighter of the Year, a woman who had a tremendous 2025. Michaela Mayer became the unified champion at 154 pounds, the welterweight champion still with a title defense and a chance in 2026 to become the second top-ranked woman to become the undisputed champion. Who was the first?
Sinisa
She's talented.
Yeah, she is.
Not her last name. That's okay. You did have an unbelievable 2025. You have a great fight at 147. You go up to 154 and win 3 titles at that weight class. Was this the best year of your pro career?
I think it's definitely on paper probably the best year of my career.
I'm proud of it. I think I did a good job. I think a lot of people thought that maybe I wasn't going to be able to navigate my way back to the top, maybe that I had already reached my peak. And I showed them that no, and I feel better than ever. I'm maybe, at the tail end of my career, but I do feel better than ever, stronger than ever. I still have a lot more to accomplish, and so it feels good to be recognized at the Ring Awards tonight.
You beat Sandy Ryan definitively in the rematch, then you go up to 154, brand new weight class for you, and win a few belts at that weight. Which was the more fulfilling win for you?
Well, it was definitely nice to kick Sandy Ryan's butt again, and better for the doubters. But it was great to go up and challenge myself. I remember stepping in that ring that night against Mary Spencer at 154, and I'm like, oh my God, she's a big girl. So maybe that's not the natural weight class for me, but it feels good to know that I can go up there and hold my own. And I think I did a great job. I mean, I feel like I almost finished her. So it gives me the confidence to know that I really can go anywhere. I have the skill and the experience to do that now.
So you have a chance in your next fight to either fight Lauren Price for undisputed, fight O'Shea Jones for undisputed. Which direction are you leaning right now?
Well, it looks like Lauren Price is taking a tune-up fight, which now that the WBA mandated Pinheiro, I don't really think that's much of a tune-up fight. That's going to be a good fight. But hopefully we can get that fight done with her in the summer for undisputed at 147. In the meantime, yeah, I have my good friend O'Shea Jones at 154, which I know we would both hate to fight each other, but we're going to do what we have to do, us women in the sport. We're going where we, maybe it's uncomfortable, and we're fighting our friends, and we're just trying to make a statement. So we'll do what we have to do to get that done.
Claressa Shields, 165.
Claressa Shields, 160. That's the highest I can possibly go. We agreed on 154. I understand she's been fighting at heavyweight. This is her third fight at heavyweight. So it's really it's a weight thing. And the longer she stays at heavyweight, the harder it is for her to come down. So, but I know that I've already moved up multiple weight classes. 160 is the absolute highest I can go, and I'll still be at a disadvantage.
Well, congratulations, Michaela. Tremendous year, 2025.
Thank you.
All right, folks. I mean, this man needs no introduction, right? The voice of boxing for so many years. First off, look, this is the second year the Ring Magazine is doing this award show. I mean, could you ever imagine that we'll be looking like the Oscars for the sport of boxing?
Never, but it's overdue, and the fact that the Ring Magazine has really made all this possible because the Bible of boxing is such an appropriate title, and I can remember as a kid just buying those magazines, and even though the news was a month late, I try to get it as soon as possible and save up my quarters. I think when I was a kid it was only 50 cents, but it's truly a remarkable thing, the way everything has evolved, and it's bigger and better than ever.
I mean, tell me about what Turki Al-Sheikh, His Excellency, just Saudi Arabia, the Crown Prince have done for boxing.
The beauty of his involvement with the sport is he loves the sport. He respects and he loves and he honors the fighter, and he wants good matches. He doesn't want guys like, fighting tomato cans and building up their record. I mean, everything he's done, Bivol Beterbiev and these matches, and Fury Usyk for the undisputed title, and it's just amazing. There was one point where he actually was the force behind 7 unified, undisputed championship fights.
That's insane.
Year period. It was amazing.
Well, listen, I know you got to get on with your night. Are you working tonight? So you got to go sip your tea and get ready.
Just like you.
All right.
Good. Yeah.
Thank you. You do the same. Thank you. Good to see you again, Michael Buffer.
Going to start the interview yet because she's not finished posing. You see, she's posing, right? She's not just standing. I get it. She's not just standing, she's posing. I'm with the champ. Oh my gosh, how you doing? How do you like this?
It's amazing. I love these events. I love that boxing are doing these events now. I feel like it's something that's kind of been missing from the sport, and yeah, I'm very happy to be here.
Speaking of missing, Sky, where do you think your name should be at on these categories?
Look, 2025 wasn't my best year. We finished strong. Didn't start the way we planned, but yeah, I'm happy to be here, and I think next year we will definitely be seeing my name on some awards.
I mean, that's okay because we've seen your skills, so we know what you got. So what's next for you?
I plan to go undisputed this year. I'm in a new weight division. I feel amazing here. I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. And yeah, I've got a very, very special 2026 planned.
But how do you gain weight and still look muscular?
I've gone down. I've gone down to 122.
No, I didn't know that. Wait a minute. Are you serious?
Yeah.
So why did you do that?
So I guess after facing my first defeat at 126, it was kind of going back to the drawing board and looking at what went wrong, what changes I need to make. I started working with an amazing nutritionist, Lee Rickards, and yeah, it was the right move for me, and I feel so good about it.
Fighters don't usually make that decision. Fighters usually go up like, all right, that's it. I'm killing myself to make weight. Was it ever hard for you to make 122?
No. So I've had 3 fights now at 122, and I feel amazing. It's the best I've ever felt. I'm making the weight well. I feel like I probably should have always been there.
So what about making 126? Was it easy back then, or you struggled then?
It was easy back then. Okay. It was never a struggle, but it was just like very slight adjustments and lifestyle changes to go down to 122. And I guess just I didn't realize that I was probably doing it too easy. And once I made those changes, I still make 122 quite comfortably. My nutritionist has said I could make 118, which is crazy. Imagine going 3-weight world champion, but down instead of going up each time. But
then you're gonna go down to minimum weight.
No, no. Even 118, I'm like, I don't know about that, but I'm very happy at 122.
Do you feel like you could crack a little bit more?
Definitely. I definitely feel the power more. I feel the size advantage being at 122. But at the same time, I walk around at 128 pounds all year round. I'm not a weight bully by going to 122, if that makes sense. I'm still probably smaller naturally than other 122 fighters and even probably 118 fighters.
Smaller, but probably more skillful. Question of the night: who is going to win Fighter of the Year?
Ooh. I mean, I feel like you can't really look past Terence Bud Crawford. I think he probably takes it by a long way.
A landslide.
Yes, that.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by the ring, and enjoy your evening.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Guy Nicholson with us tonight. Welcome back to the Mingle Zone. Kate here with Mike and Sergio. Sky Nicholson wasn't nominated this year for Female Fighter of the Year, but let's talk about some of the women who were, and give me your pick on who you would like to see win the award this time around, Mike.
I have to go with Katie Taylor. She finally won that trilogy against Amanda Serrano, closed the chapter. It was probably the greatest trilogy in women's boxing history. So for me, I have to go with the Irish women.
Listen, I love Katie Taylor. All right, that was my Female Fighter of the Year last year. But I got to go with Michaela Mayer. I think Michaela Mayer is incredible, going up from 130 all the way to 147, defended at 154 against Spencer. What she's doing is really awesome for women's boxing. I'm impressed with her. I think Michaela Mayer.
Any other names that you think could be in the mix there? I mean, we've got Ellie Scottney as well, who added another title to her unified
Katie
title.
Taylor will probably be my number 2. Katie Taylor's awesome.
Mizuki Hiruto, I thought you may have gone in that direction. Ring Magazine champion. I'm surprised, Mike.
Yeah, a lot of great fighters from Asia, of course. And obviously you have Inoue and Carden is up for Fight of the Year as well. So Asia's represented well.
There's another name on here, Evelyn Bermudez, unified at flyweight, if you weren't super familiar, but she's another one of the names that we could potentially have seen. Katie Taylor, I heard being interviewed before. I haven't seen her yet with my own eyes, but I do believe she's here. Have we seen Ellie Scottney yet?
I have not seen her yet.
No?
Okay. Sergio's on the lookout, though, I know.
I'm on the lookout. I've been talking to Michaela. I did see Katie Taylor, but those are the only two I see. And Alicia Baumgartner somewhere around here as well.
I don't know if you could hear the conversation between Chris Mannix and Michaela Mayer, but they were talking about weights and where she could potentially go to. The name Clarissa Shields was mentioned. Clarissa will be here tonight. Haven't seen her yet, though. Is that a fight that you would like to see, or do you think it's a stretch too far for Michaela?
I think it's a stretch too far for Michaela, even though she does have the height and the wide shoulders to distribute that weight evenly. But Clarissa is running out of opponents. She needs names. Michaela is a big name. They're both Olympians. I would love to see that fight. It's a contrast of everything in styles, personalities. I'm in for that fight if Michaela's in.
Yes. All right. Well, let's see if we can get it. We just talked about female greats. Let's go to another one over on the red carpet.
These people look so good. One of the best trainers in the world, one of the best fighters in the world, Alicia Baumgartner, Derek James. First off, you guys look amazing. Tell me what you're wearing.
Listen, this is the bomb special. This is Giuseppe. red bottom heels, and just the bomb energy that we're given today.
Definitely bomb. And yourself?
Thomas Ford.
Tom Ford. Spending that money, Derek. I see the little rollie.
Red bottoms on, too.
All right, so listen, we're here at the second annual Ring Magazine Awards. This is amazing. I feel like we're at the Grammys, at the Oscars. Long overdue for boxing. Alicia, tell me what this means to you for boxing to have a night like this.
What this means to me is to spread and have the spotlight on a sport like boxing. I think this has been long overdue, and to get everybody in one room to showcase greatness, I think is amazing, and we need to have many more to come.
I know you feel at home because you always glammed up anyway for the weigh-ins, for the fights, so you're right at home.
Right at home, and I love it. You know, I'm able to just showcase that beauty and that beast, the hooks and the looks, and just be here in New York and just give good energy.
Derek, you've been in the sport for so many years. Talk to me about fighters being recognized like this. I'm talking about when they get to come out, sit down, fine dining, wear suits. I mean, we've never had this before. What kind of impact has Turki Al-Sheikh given to the sport?
Well, I think that it gives you the opportunity to come out and be somebody else, like come out and be the person. Everybody likes to look good, right? Jeans and all that stuff is not this type of situation. So I think it's always good for the fighters to get to dress up and get to see them in a different light, because this is what crossover appeal is all about.
All right, listen, before we get out of here, can you give us any news? What's next for Alicia Baumgartner? We want to know.
What's next is something really big. We have a huge announcement coming very soon. I will be back in the ring sooner than later. Derek and I are ready to be back in the gym doing what we do best, and just showcasing and really showing out and really setting the stage as we always do.
It's always a pleasure chopping it up with you. Thank you, Derek. Thank you. Derek James, Alicia Baumgartner.
Okay, I'm here with my bodyguards. It doesn't matter if I'm bigger than this guy, because trust me, he can hurt something. How you doing tonight?
Very well, thank you. Very well. Excited.
What about yourself?
Yeah, splendid, thank you.
Okay, so what do you think about the festivities? Is this something that boxing has been missing?
I believe so, yeah. Obviously, the first one was in London last year, and it was a success. Everyone loved it. And, yeah, I definitely think it's something boxing's been missing. Having all these legends there under one roof, it's unbelievable.
Do you feel like your name should be in one of the categories?
Yeah, I believe so. I've had a good year as a prospect, but then on the flip side, when I got the call up, I was kind of pinching myself. I couldn't believe it at the same time. But we're here, we're in New York, we're living life.
Well, they're recognizing you.
Yeah, they're recognising me, and it's part of the game. It's just I've just got to keep delivering, keep showing up, and that's what I'll do.
Okay, so we're going to go from prospect to somebody that I should be calling undisputed champion. I hate it that I can't call you that. How do you feel about that?
You know what, that's in the past now. We've moved on since then. We got the rematch. We beat him for no belts. It was nice to get the victory, but we move on now. We're excited. We're in 26. We started 25 a bit rocky. We finished strong, but we're ready for some big fights this year.
Absolutely. So is there names? Are they throwing names at you, Jack Catterall?
Of course, I'm number one in the WBO. Devin Haney's the champion. We love that fight. I'm ready to fight all the champions. Never turned down a fight, and I certainly won't be this year.
What do you think about Devin's performance against Brian Norman?
Yeah, I thought Devin boxed well. Come back after the last fight. There are a lot of problems there, so I'm guessing he's happy to get the victory, but I want that fight.
Out of all of the champions in that division, who would you want the most?
I think Devin Haney makes sense. He's a big name, an American fighter, and we're number one in the WBO, so that makes sense.
Okay, so last question for you guys. Who do you think is going to win Fighter of the Year tonight?
Terence Crawford.
I have not gotten anyone to say anything different. Let's see you, Jack Catterall. Who's going to win tonight?
Terence Crawford.
Well done, well said. Gentlemen, have a great evening. Thank you for stopping by the ring.
Well, I'm here with a man that is part of one of the nominees tonight. Fight of the Year, Conor Benn against Chris Eubank Jr. Part 2. So make your case, Conor. Why was your fight the best fight of the year?
Because it wasn't just about belts. It was about family history. It was about pride. It was about legacy. And, you know, a lot of people thought the fight wouldn't live up to the fights of our dads, which was historic in itself. You know, but ultimately we delivered. Gave people value for money. We fought with our heart on our sleeves. We left a bit of our souls in there in the first fight. Personally, I think the second fight was better because I won. But ultimately, it's about giving people value for money. And I felt like that night we made history.
I know coming up short in the first fight really hurt you. Winning that rematch, what did that mean to you?
It was a blessing. I sat down, I stuck to the game plan, stayed disciplined, and proved to everybody that I'm not just a hothead, I'm not just aggressive. Irrelevant what was in front of me on the night, that I can stick to the game plan and stay disciplined throughout the 12 rounds.
You battled through a lot over the last few years to get back on top in boxing. Now you are back on top in boxing. You are a money man in multiple weight classes. You can call some of the shots right now. What is next for you in your mind? What do you want to do?
Listen, what the public want, the public can get. And ultimately, the biggest commercial fights out there for me. Whoever wants it can get it. Whatever makes sense. You know, so ultimately for me, I'm sitting in a great position. I know you say I'm at the top, but ultimately I feel like I haven't even got started yet. You know, ultimately there's many names out there. Welterweights calling me out, world champions calling me out. I ain't even fought in that division for 3 years. You know, so ultimately that shows my commercial value and star power. We can do it in a stadium in London. I can come to America, fight in Vegas, fight MSG. You know, ultimately I let my team handle that. But if anyone wants it, anyone can get it.
Ryan Garcia, Mario Barrios happening on February 21st. I think there's a chance we see you in Las Vegas checking out that fight?
I'll be there ringside. And if Ryan wants it, he can sure as hell let me know he wants it, providing he wins. I think he's in a tough fight against Barrios. You know, Barrios is a true Mexican fighter. Fights with his cojones, fights with a lot of heart, fights with his heart on his sleeve. And he comes in there to win. He fights for pride, he fights for legacy, he fights for the culture, fights for the family. And the other person fights for clicks and views. Very different. So it's a bit hard for me to see Ryan winning. I'm praying he does, but I think Barrios can cause the upset.
I was about to say, it sounds like you're going to be rooting for Ryan to win that night.
Of course I am, but consistency beats talent. Safe to say Barrios is consistent with who he is, how he trains, and what he fights for.
Before we let you get back to your seat, anybody in this building that you're excited to see or have seen in the last hour?
I met Usyk again. Golovkin standing right there behind you. So, yeah, there's some pound-for-pound greats in here tonight.
All right, let's get back to your seat. Do you think I could pull the hair off? You know? And I'm 45 now, so it's tough.
Age is just a number. Go for it. You only live once.
Right. Maybe if you fight in the U.S. next, I'll do it.
Oh, yeah, this is on video. If I fight in the U.S. next, you best dye your hair blonde and have a slick back.
Sold. Good to see you, Conor.
You too.
All right, fight fans, still here at the second annual Ring Magazine Awards, and I have here one of the most exciting and explosive fighters, Jai. Jai, what about this excites you the most? Like an award show where fighters are being recognized?
Oh man, this is awesome, bro. You know, coming from one neck of the woods and to be here, rubbing shoulders with greatness, man. It's pretty special, bro. So it's a good night.
I mean, do you like to get dressed up and put shoes on and stuff? Are you into that?
It feels good to be dressed up and not having to go to court, you know what I mean?
It's a little cold, though, once you got the scarf on.
Freezing, bro. I'm freezing, man. It's not cold like this back in Oz, but, man, it's cool, bro. Cool. My first time here in New York, so...
Oh, this your first time here?
First time, bro, so it's been a good experience.
What do you think? So have you had the pizza in New York yet?
Not yet. We just had a hot soup earlier. We only got here this morning, so we've been spending a lot of time in Vegas doing a lot of training, so we just flew over from here. Landed this morning, and now we're straight into this. So.
Big fight weekend here in New York. I'm assuming that you'll be attending to your Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson fight. How do you think that fight plays out?
Definitely, but we'll be there. Man, good fight. You know, I'm a massive fan of Shakur. You know, the way he has his distance and he's a smart, you know, IQ boxer. Then, you know, Teofimo, man, he's aggressive. It's an exciting fight. You know, I'm pretty pumped to see what versions we see of both fighters.
All right, so the big award tonight is the Fighter of the Year. And, you know, we got Inoue, we got Bud Crawford. It's a few big names, but Vo, like, who's your Fighter of the Year, if you had to pick?
Man, Fighter of the Year, Joe Apatow.
I think that's coming soon enough.
Coming soon.
Coming soon, for real. Now, so what is coming soon? What is coming soon for you?
Man, we just signed a new contract with this Zufa Boxing, so man, we've got big things coming, man. You know, I got a fight coming at March 8th in Vegas, and then after that, I've been told that we'll be, you know, obviously we've got a job to do first, but man, and they're getting closer and closer to getting them over the line.
You know, unification fights are great for legacy and all that, but this is prize fighting, and people have been talking and throwing Jake Paul's name out there. Obviously, we all saw what AJ did with Jake Paul, but he's a big name, he's a big draw in the sport. Will you entertain a fight like that if it was presented to you?
Man, it'd be silly not to, you know what I mean? It generates that much money, like why wouldn't you go bash Jake Paul and then come back and win the world title, you know what I mean? So, but my eyes are set on undisputed. You know, I've had this dream for a long time, and I honestly believe I can become undisputed, and the money's going to come anyway. You know what I mean? If I keep winning and I keep doing my thing, the money will come. You know, so these prize fighters and stuff like that, bro, undisputed, you got to get paid. You know what I mean? So I just got to, you know, keep my eyes on the prize and keep heading in the right direction.
I'll tell you, one of my favorite fighters and most exciting fighters in the sport. Looking forward to seeing what's next with you. Go enjoy the rest of your night.
Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Yes, Jai Patel, one of the many fighters, we're looking forward to seeing him get back into the ring as soon as possible, hopefully. We're looking back at the very best of 2025 tonight, but no doubt two of the standout events in boxing in 2024 were the two undisputed heavyweight title showdowns that we saw between Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. The story of those historic battles has now been immortalized in print. You can see it just behind me, Undisputed, written by best-selling author Cal Fussman, who is, and that book is now available from publishers Asulin, and their president, Alex Asulin, is here with me now. Can you just give me a little bit of background about the book, Alex, and what made you guys want to write this book?
Of course, so we have a lot of ambition in growing more into sports culture. We've done a lot with Air Jordan and Federer and Derrick Rose just recently, and boxing is something very important as well for sports culture, and we wanted to immortalize that in these amazing fights with these legendary fighters, Usyk and Fury, and very, very happy about launching the book today.
And almost kind of like coffee book type style, right? With incredible pictures and everything. It's a great one to have out when people come around. What do you think is special about the book?
People are going to love the behind the scenes that we put in this. It's a lot about how the fights were prepared. We sent a photographer, Charlie Gray, to immortalize that for a month and month before with each fighter. So the striking black and white pictures, immortalizing that was really amazing to see, and you can see pictures of the fight as well. And then Carl Fussman, as you mentioned, narrated the whole story with each points from before and during the fights. And these two fights, as we know, from May and December 2024.
And in terms of the photography, can you talk to me a little bit about that? Because the images are just incredible in the book.
So Charlie Gray went, as I mentioned, for month and month, really taking on his own style. He's a British photographer, on style of point of view and very aspect of grainy pictures and saturated in that sort of way. And I can't wait for everyone to discover it, because it's really important pictures. You see month and month again of how the training, you see them with super heavyweight chains, training for months to get to that level and that spirit of the fight. So very incredible and collectible as a piece.
Yeah, such a good-looking product. Congratulations on the launch today. Undisputed, guys, is available now from publishers Asulin in a legend and a classic edition at asulin.com. Head over there if you want to buy it. Well, there is snow on the streets of New York. I'm sure you've seen by now, but it hasn't stopped the best in boxing heading out to the Big Apple for the sports premiere event. We're going to head back over, I think, to the red carpet right now and see who's out there.
I'm with the Vargas clan. How you guys doing this evening?
I'm doing great, my brother. I'm happy to be surrounded by
God is great. God is great.
Surrounded by greatness. You were born in the same household as greatness already. And God is great, sir. Absolutely, sir. What do you think about the festivities tonight?
I mean, first and foremost, thank you to the ring. This is such a beautiful event. They've taken care of, me, my family, my mother, my girlfriend, and I'm just happy. Like I said,
let's move up a little bit so the people could go by.
Yeah, no doubt. Like I said, I'm happy to be here in New York and just celebrate all the great fighters that I look up to and be around the same room as them. And like I said, I mean, in the pursuit of greatness, these are milestones for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be great, and at the end of the day, this for me signifies that I'm on my way to greatness.
Can you leave tonight with just a nomination, or do you have to win?
I mean, I'm a winner, right? I want to win. Anything I do, I want to win. In life, in the ring, outside of the ring, that's up to God, though. It's God's will. At the end of the day, February 20th, if I have a fight, that one I have to win. Right? Yes. There is no other choice. But at the end of the day, tonight, I'm enjoying the company of my father, my family, all the great fighters I look up to, and just leaving it in God's hands.
But the crazy thing is that you're probably the only person here tonight that's in camp, and you still came.
Yeah. No, you know what? I wasn't gonna come. I wasn't gonna come, and my dad, I'm all like, you gotta go. So yesterday I ran 10 miles. I got here late. I came in and ran 10 miles. One of my opponents, family or friends, whatever, was commenting, his Argentinian flags and this and that on my live. It was like 2 a.m. Okay, I was at 5 miles. Okay, I said I'm gonna do 10 because I know he did 5, so I'm gonna do 10. So that's the level where I take myself. I know that Quintana, who's my next opponent, beat Mark Castro, is gonna be a great name for me. And I just want to keep on climbing and keep on knocking these guys out like bowling pins.
How proud are you, Emiliano?
I'm super proud. I'm super proud of all my boys. You know what I mean? It's a blessing to be living what I'm living through my kids' eyes, what I didn't have as a kid. I grew up without a father, so just imagine how proud I am to be able to be there, his father, Junior's father, Amado's father, my daughter's father. It's a blessing for me. It's a blessing for me.
One day maybe he won't just be your son. You might be just walking around like, oh, I'm his dad, because you might be that famous.
I mean, those are big shoes, man. Those are big shoes. I would never want to be like my father. The best thing I could do is be the best fighter that I could be, but I stand on the shoulders of my father, you know what I'm saying, and my mother. So,
but guess what? He's going to be better than me, and that's real speed. And you, as a father, want your kids to be, your offspring to be better than you. You never want to be like, oh, they're okay. Nah, they'll be better than me. If you can be better than me, then I'm a happy man. I'm a blessed man.
I asked your father a couple of months ago at a referee seminar, I said, which one of your sons remind you of you the most? He couldn't say. He was like, they all got a piece of me. But who do you say?
I mean, look, I speak for myself, man. I just love what I do. I love what I do. I know my dad loved what he did, and even to this day, I mean, he loves boxing. He can't live without boxing. So, but now he just fights with my mom. That's it.
And always lose.
Those are the fights you're gonna always have to lose, because at the end of the day, you want to have a happy wife and a happy life, and that's what it is.
Amen. Listen, first of all, congratulations, and enjoy the night, and thank you for stopping by the ring.
Thank you. Let's go, baby.
Well, I'm here with Eddie Hearn, who has a big day tomorrow. 2 championship fights, one over in the UK and one here in New York City. But you're here at the Ring Awards tonight. And Eddie, boxing awards have come a long way, haven't they, over the last few years?
They certainly have. I've often thought about doing some awards myself, but then if we did a Matchroom awards ceremony, I kind of feel like it would only be Matchroom fighters winning. So I think it's good to have like an independent, obviously the ring prides itself on that, and I think you'll see that with the winners tonight. There's kind of no preference. It's just an independent panel of what we call specialists and who give their opinion on what has been another tremendous year for boxing.
You do have a nice backyard. You could probably pull off a nice awards show.
Yeah,
as well.
maybe,
We've seen.
maybe. It'd be very biased, though.
In an event like this, where everybody's in the same room, you rarely get this many boxing luminaries in the same room. Is there any part of you that is looking to make a deal when you're around all these people?
Do you know what? Like when you see, there's a lot of people in here that I need to catch up with. So, and you don't have the opportunity to, do all these multitudes of meetings. So sometimes it's like, oh, this, just saw, I don't know, Chev Clark over there talking about his next fight, Pat Brown, Callum Smith, Dalton Smith, Conor Benn. Like, a lot of our stable are here tonight, and sometimes you don't get the opportunity to just have 5 minutes to chat. So, yeah, plus every major name in the sport, every major player in the sport. So it's a pretty special event.
John Ennis is here tonight, carrying a bag that's worth more than anything that I'm wearing at the moment. Everybody wants to know, how close are we getting to a Boots Ennis Virgil Ortiz fight?
Yeah, look, I mean, there's a lot been happening over the last couple of weeks. We're still committed to making that fight. I think this is a very interesting weekend for the for the 154-pound division. Josh Kelly fights Mertz Alive. Xander Zayas fights Barris Abu in a unification fight. So we could see what spits up from those two matchups. But our preference is definitely still the Ortiz fight. These guys are number 1 and number 2 in the division. Let's find out which order they fall in.
Sort of answer the question. Are we getting closer?
I don't want to get too excited, Chris. I know that this sort of run.
I'm a huge leak.
This runs me back to Andrade against Charlo that you were pushing. So
died on that hill,
and we didn't get over the line. So let's try and be a little bit more focused on making sure we actually get this one over the line.
I still have an Andrade Charlo T-shirt.
I know. I bet you do. It's the only one.
All right, Eddie. Appreciate your time.
Cheers, mate.
You ever heard the word living legend? This is the epitome of it right here. Living legend.
Thank you. Respect. Thank you.
I don't think there'll be another soul do what you've done in the sport.
Thank you, brother.
Fight as long as you did and been so dominant.
Yes.
But we're here today with Bernard Hopkins, and we're here for this amazing Ring Awards.
Yes.
Which category are you most excited about?
I'm excited about, when it comes to the fight of the year, the fight of the year, the most prospect of the year. I mean, all the categories are worthy of honoring or being a candidate for those slots. But the Ring magazine itself, for the history of it, the prestige of it, and what I like about this time that we live in boxing in 2026 is that the Ring is a rebirth of the Ring magazine and the Ring belt. Because think about this, right? It ain't even really promoting it. I'm just talking facts on the first belt that boxing ever knew and recognized was the Ring magazine, Ring belt. Not actually the magazine, even though they came, but the belt. The belt itself. When you're talking about Jack Dempsey, you're talking about, Jack Johnson. I mean, no other belts that I recall or research, and I think I did my job many, many years on the history of the sport of boxing, especially when it came to one Uno champion in that division. And that's old school. That's what I've been brought up on. That's what I was always taught and always strive for. And the opportunities now is great because you can fight for, 10 belts, 8 belts, 9 belts? But in the same token, the history of being here tonight, the second event of the Ring Gala is special. It's special.
The first 4 belt undisputed champion right here.
Somebody finally got it right. The first 4 belt era, Bernard Hopkins.
Yeah.
All right, folks. I'm joined here by one of my favorite fighters, and it's been an honor covering him over the years, Mr. Dimitri Bivol. Welcome. You look good today.
Thank you.
How's New York is treating you?
Yeah, New York is freezing, but but I like
Talk to me about an award show. Like I'm talking to all the fighters about something that we've never really had in our sport, right? This is the second year only that Turki Al-Sheikh and the Ring Magazine has recognized fighters in this way. What does that do for the confidence of a fighter being recognized like this?
You know, it's motivating you to do more, to be better, because you have more attention, people like it, and a lot of journalists here, and I like how Ring Magazine are doing now. Everything is good.
You know, you're up for a Fighter of the Year, right? It's a tough category. You got Inoue, Crawford. How do you feel about being mentioned amongst those names?
Of course, I feel great that I'm one of these guys. I'm not sure I will win this, but because there is Inoue who had 4 fights, Crawford who become undisputed again. But I'm really proud of myself, of my team, that we're on this list.
What's next for Dimitri? I mean, look, many people out there feel like you are one of the most skilled fighters in all of boxing. You won a big fight, the big fight.
Yeah.
What's next on another level?
You know, in my head, I want to be more remembered in this sport until I have some power in my heart. And about achievements, I would like to have another belt in another weight class category, maybe cruiserweight. Why not?
You've always been a fan of Crawford, right? The fact that he retired on top, right? Does that inspire fighters or maybe yourself on and start to think, when do I want to hang it up? Have you thought about it?
Yeah, probably I don't want to fight till my 39, 38 years old. I want to be retired on this age, but I still have this fire inside of me. Yeah, and I still have this motivation inside of me, and I want to do a couple more fights.
Yeah, don't let me rush you. Yeah, no rush. Looking forward to seeing you again in the ring. Always a pleasure seeing you. Go enjoy the rest of your night, brother.
Thank you.
Mucho.
Hey everybody, welcome back inside the Mingle Zone, which has begun to empty out as everybody begins to file into the dinner. Kate here with Mike and Sergio. You just saw Dimitri Bivol, one of the nominees tonight for Male Fighter of the Year. Avenged that loss against Artur Beterbiev, became undisputed. Is he the worthy winner, or have you got someone else for your pick?
I think he's absolutely a worthy choice, Kate, and I've been voting on these kind of awards for like 15 plus years now. So I always have a rule, right? I don't want to go to anybody that only fights once in a year, because to me that's usually performance of the year. I'm going to make an exception for Terence Crawford. Obviously going up 2 weight classes, defeating Canelo Alvarez, the stakes, the magnitude of the event. I'm going Terence Crawford, even though Naoya Inoue has a good case as well.
Yes, he does.
As a fighter, I gotta go whoever kept busy. 4 times in the Undisputed Era, the monster Noah Inoue. I mean, 2 knockouts, beating undefeated fighters, unified champions. I have to give it to him. You have to put your body in 4 different camps as an older fighter. It's incredible. So for me, Inoue's the man.
Well, as you can see, this room has begun to empty out as everybody files into that room behind the screen here on the other side of the screen. His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh has already made his way into the building, which kind of gives the idea that maybe soon enough everybody now will start sitting down and the awards hosted by Max Kellerman can get started. Looking forward to this, Mike?
I can't wait. You know, I get to see more of Max, so that's always my favorite, right?
Do you get to vote, by the way? You said you used to get to vote on awards like this. Do you get to vote on this? How does it work?
No, they kept me out of it, probably for good reason. So.
Okay, all right. Sergio?
I don't vote. I want to sit down. We've been standing up a long time. Time to sit down and enjoy the show.
And eat.
And eat.
And in terms of what we're expecting tonight, obviously there are 9 categories that are up for the awards. Who do you think, or which category do you think is the most prestigious? Is it male and female fighter of the year? Is that kind of considered the most prestigious win?
I think so, but if you also want to go with something that really encapsulates the whole sport and the spirit of boxing, I think it's Fight of the Year. Right? This is show business, this is entertainment. So the Fight of the Year to me is the best award any fighter can win.
Fight of the year usually is a popular. KO of the year is always sexy.
Yes,
you know,
everybody
everyone
loves
loves
it.
to see the knockout. Everyone loves to see who the nominees are. And what Brian Norman Jr. did in Japan against Jim Sasaki, it was scary, but it was scary beautiful. So the KO of the year is always great.
Yes, it was. The event was due to start at 8:30. It is past 8:30 now. It's never cool to be too early to an event. Should we see who's arriving fashionably late? Let's take a look who's out on the red carpet.
I'm a welterweight champion. How's that sound? Welterweight champion, Rolly Romero.
Good. Sounds good. Great.
Sounds like it fits, right?
Great. Yeah.
So before the cameras came on, you just said, "Oh wow." What were you saying that for?
Wow, I'm a welterweight champion, huh?
Absolutely. What do you think about this whole festivities?
I think it's great, to be on the red carpet, I think the red really matches my skin tone.
All right, there's a lot going on in your division. What's next for Rolly? Who are we going to see you in there with?
Honestly, I have no idea what's going on.
Please. Sure, it's fine. Brendan, you're kind of big. Go through, brother. It's all right. Thank you. Go ahead, brother.
No, I have no idea what's going on.
You have no idea what's going on with your career?
No idea.
You just put him in front of me, I'm going to beat him. That's how you feel?
Yeah, I got a great manager, and if he tells me this, that's what we're doing.
I mean, your manager's one of the best managers of all times. But if you can have it your way, who would be your next fight?
A plate of food I haven't ate all day.
Would you win that fight, though?
Yeah, I definitely would.
All right, who do you think is going to win Fighter of the Year tonight?
Crawford.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Have a great night, brother. Thank you for stopping by the ring.
All right, folks, I'm here with my buddy here, Carl Frosch. Now, if there was a category for attendance in a fight, I mean, you would probably win every year from the year that you had your big night.
You've gone straight in with it. I love it. That's always my punchline. We're going to let them know that there was 80,000 fans at Wembley Stadium.
No, I was waiting for you to tell them.
Yeah, man, it's all good. What's happening?
Listen, talk about this award show. I've been talking to people because as a fight fan, as a little kid, you imagine, fighters being celebrated outside of world titles, but in an event like this, are you a little upset that you're not active in this era?
No, not really. I've had my time and I had a great career, very privileged. I got out on the top and I got my health, which is more important than anything. But it's nice to see some of the old boy fighters. I mean, I always enjoy speaking to Lennox Lewis. Terence Crawford's recently retired. I think he stays retired as well. So I want to catch up with him. And then there's a couple of new guns on the scene. So, yeah, I mean, Fight of the Year, Knockout of the Year. I mean, it's always interesting, the awards anyway. So it's good as a boxing fan.
What do you think it does psychologically to fighters that even if not winning an award, but being recognized and nominated and invited to an event like this, does that boost your confidence?
Absolutely. I can remember my first column inches in the Boxing News and the Ring magazine as an American. And when I made from that to then making, I think I was number 6 pound for, well, I know I was number 6 pound for pound because I'm trying to pretend I wasn't bothered, but I was so excited to make the top 10 pound for pound list for me in the Ring magazine. That was a special moment. I become a world champion and then getting the front page. I've got the front pages in frames in my gym at home. That's how much they mean to me. So, and some of them are Ring, some of them are the Boxing News, some Boxing Monthly, and the Ring magazine's got history. So yeah, for these fighters, they should be proud if they can make the magazine. Should be privileged.
I mean, the impact that Turki Al-Sheikh, His Excellency, has had on the sport in his recent coming to the sport. What's your opinion on it?
Well, money makes the world go round, doesn't it? And there's plenty of that, and he's spending it wisely. The fighters are earning the money, which is great, and he's put some energy and effort into the Ring magazine. It's reborn, and now we're about to have a fight.
And we have Derek Chisora.
Sold how much you sell? We just talked about that.
How much you sell?
You tell me, man. You tell me.
Derek, tell me what do you have on here?
Hey, listen,
85,000.
85,000. Congratulations on the fight with Deontay Wilder. I think out of any fights I'd want to see you in, sensible wise, I think that's That's a good fight.
Fight is a fight. Don't matter how good it is or bad it is.
No, don't
it's
give
a
it like
fight.
that. You don't want to be jumping in with certain people. Your time, I know you fight anyone.
Listen, I'm different from you. I'm different from you.
Hey, Carl, listen.
I like this fight with Wilder. I do. Good luck, man.
Thank you.
See you
Thank
later.
you, man. Love you, man.
Carl, before we get out of here, are you the best dressed British fighter?
I don't know. Listen, Paul Smith dressed me. I've got a few Macs and that. So I'm actually a little bit overdressed a minute, but it's freezing. It's like -20 out there.
In here, you're good. You're looking clean.
Yeah, thank you. My lips are all dried up. It's like...
They can't see it on camera. Before you get out of here real quick, you're an opinionative personality in the sport right now, and you don't hold...
I try and say how it is, man. It's not about being opinionated. It's just about expressing...
No, that's not a bad thing. You know, you have your opinion, and it's credible. You've been in there.
Yeah, well, I wish you'd tell a lot of people to get easily offended and upset. I mean, don't forget, offence is taken. I never give it, but if you want to take it, that's on you. And I just tell my truth.
So before you get out of here, what fighter are you most excited about for the future? 2027, 2026, 2027?
That's a good question. There's a couple. I mean, I'd like to know if Moses Atama's got what it takes at heavyweight. I like the look of Ben Whittaker because I love that. You know, the Nassim Hamid-like flair. I don't know if he can take that up to world level and still do what he's doing, but he's very talented. I don't know if his punch power is going to mix it at top level, but his movement, his fitness. I'm looking forward to seeing him grow. And then I just want to see what Conor Benn can do as well, because it's a big name now. He's a big star in boxing.
So no love for American fighters?
No, listen. Some of the top boys from my era, most of them are retiring. To be honest, there's nothing really happening. I mean, you tell me American heavyweight, right?
No, well, I meant overall, but I get your point. Now, who wins tomorrow night? We're here in town. We're in New York for a big fight week. Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez. Your prediction before you get out of here?
Listen, I'm going to give you my prediction, but it's from the heart, and it's Teofimo Lopez, because he's my boy, and he's stylistically, I love the way he fights, I love what he does. Shakur Stevenson, I was with Andre Ward yesterday, chatting to him on the best channel in the business, Froch on Fighting. I actually did the Hot Award as well.
Thank you.
And it was awesome. Ward's got Shakur Stevenson, but that's his boy. I've got Teofimo Lopez, but it's a close fight. It's a 50-50. If I was going to get pushed off a cliff and I had to guess right, I'm saying Shakur on points.
There you have it, Carl Froch.
As you can see, everybody behind me, the room is already full. All of our guests are now in, so it's time to begin the ceremony and the 2025 Ring Awards.
What's up, sleepyhead? Another day, slacking on the job.
Ladies and gentlemen, boxing fans around the world, are you ready? Step into the story of the sweet science, a tale written in blood and brilliance. Every era gave birth to new icons, and champions became immortal. As the words danced on the page, giants danced in the ring, punch for punch, from cover to cover. Every bead of sweat, every drop of blood, and every single knockout. But now, it's time to write new stories, crown new kings and queens. And as new heroes rise, every moment will be written. Round by round, all of the fury, all of the brutality, all of the glory. It's a new beginning for the Bible of boxing. Let's get ready for the ring. The legacy continues.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the fabulous Cipriani 25 on Broadway, New York City, New York, USA, and the 2025 Ring Awards. For over a century, the Ring magazine has been the definitive word on the fight game and has rightly earned its status as the Bible of boxing. 12 months ago, we came together for the inaugural Ring Awards night, the Oscars of boxing, and tonight we gather again as this event becomes a fixture in the boxing calendar. For myself, 2025 was the start of my 44th year in the sport, and it continues to this day to still amaze me, entertain me, and thrill me. Well, in the year 2025, we sadly said goodbye to the likes of Big George Foreman and journalist Colin Hart, and tragically, of course, we said farewell to our dear friend Ricky Hatton. But it began with a magnificent moment. Bivol Beterbiev, the rematch. We had Eubank Jr. and Ben 1 and 2. Times Square boxing in Manhattan, New York City. Usyk versus Dubois in front of 90,000 fans at Wembley. And of course, there was that spectacular night in Las Vegas with 70,000 fans in attendance and tens of millions watching around the world as Canelo took on Crawford. Now tonight, we honor not just the incredible fights and fighters, we also pay tribute to the trainers, the legends, and celebrate those iconic moments that made 2025 so unforgettable. Now, before we start presenting the awards, it's time to hear from the man behind the Ring magazine, also known as the man behind the Versace shades. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podium the Ring CEO, Mr. Rick Reno.
I want to thank everyone in attendance for coming out. You know, I reflect back to December of 2024 to our relaunch gala in Riyadh when I personally first announced the relaunch of our website and app. And our website and app was better than anything else out there, but we still weren't satisfied. We wanted something bigger. We wanted more innovation. We wanted more technology. So we sought out one of the biggest development companies in the world. This company created the Nike app. This company created PlayStation's website. And the company is called Huge. And when I say huge, I'm not referring to the size of Eddie Hearn's ego. I see you, Eddie. The company is called Huge, and this company revolutionized the entire business model of McDonald's by creating their app and the interactive kiosks, which you see all over the world. And we went to them and we said, we want you to revolutionize how we present boxing content and how the fans digest that content. And we redesigned and recharged every single section of the site, and also made a few additions along the way. Breaking news, articles, videos, podcasts, our schedule, the rankings, a new community section where you could interact with fans from all over the world, our new fantasy league, which will have consistent prizes and some very significant year-end prizes. And my favorite, my boss's favorite, is our archive. This was a serious undertaking because when we took possession of the ring, we didn't have all the issues. I had to go to collectors all over the world, go to memorabilia brokers, strong-armed them to get every single issue, and now we have all of them. Over 100 years of history, over 1,200 issues completely digitized, and it's all available at your fingertips. And the best thing about all of this, the very best thing, is one word: free. Everything is free to access. All you have to do is register on our app, on our website. It's all free. Millions were invested into this project, thousands of man-hours. But the moment of truth is here, where we officially go live. And I'm going to turn things over to our owner, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, to press the button and officially launch our brand new app and website. I want to thank everyone once again, and I'm going to bring up a special man to the stage. This man has prepared a 3-hour speech for your entertainment. No bathroom breaks will be allowed. No, in all seriousness, one of the sharpest minds in the boxing game today, the editor-in-chief of Ring Magazine, Douglas Fisher.
I'll be up here no more than 3 minutes. I am long-winded, and I'm that way because I love boxing. I've been obsessed with it since I was a kid, since the great Muhammad Ali was heavyweight champion of the world. I fell in love with this sport, and I stay in love with this sport because people keep it going. People carry the torch, and all the fighters who are in this room and their teams and their trainers and everybody who is a nominee tonight, they're part of carrying that torch. They are the history makers. And the rest of us are here to witness history. And the Ring Magazine records boxing history. And it's a great job if you can get it. It's a nice gig. And if you love boxing, it really is a dream come true. So I want to thank His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh for buying Ring Magazine, but also bringing back the print magazine. We've been out of print for a couple of years, and it's so wonderful to have that tangible media and to have an actual magazine, because anybody over the age of 40, that was where you went to get your information about boxing. That's how you learned about the sport, and I'm just so pleased that not only does this tradition continue, but we have events like this. I believe the great Michael Buffer called this the Oscars for boxing, and that's exactly what it is. This is just as opulent and elegant as the inaugural Ring Magazine ceremony last year in London was. And this venue, we probably got a couple hundred people with us. If they could have found a venue this nice and this classy that seated 5,000 people, the place would have been packed. It would have been packed with the boxers and their teams. It would have been packed by everybody from the industry, and it would have been packed by fans. And you could charge $1,000 a ticket. They would have paid to be here because they want to witness history. And I just want to say all of the nominees are making history. Whether you win or not, keep doing what you're doing. We don't have a sport without these fighters and these trainers. You're the lifeblood of boxing. And when you dare to be great and when you defy the odds, you make history. And you give purpose to guys like me and, of course, a venerable old publication like Ring Magazine. So I'm so pleased that we're having these awards in New York City because it's the birthplace of Ring Magazine. This is where the magazine was started. And in fact, tomorrow night's big event, Ring 6 at Madison Square Garden, that was the house that was the headquarters for Ring Magazine for many, many decades. And it was the offices of Ring Magazine where the founder and publisher and editor-in-chief, Knight Flasher, that's where he would go into work every day. But it was also home to a Ring Magazine bookstore, a Ring Magazine museum, a Ring Magazine Hall of Fame, and very importantly, the archives that Rick Reno mentioned. That's where it was home, and the archives have endured with the magazine for more than 100 years. And one thing about Nat Fleischer, he was meticulous. He saved everything. So every photograph that was ever taken by a Ring Magazine photographer or anybody freelancing for Ring Magazine, every article, every piece of artwork, every scrap of information, it was saved. And it used to be held in a big room in these filing cabinets, and the only people who had access to it was whoever owned the Ring at that time, the editor-in-chief, and maybe one or two editors. And those were the only people who could walk into those rooms and open up those cabinets and look at all of these photographs. And now for the first time, and thank you to His Excellency, Turki Al-Sheikh again, it's going to be available at the ringmagazine.com website and on the app. All you got to do is register. It doesn't cost any money. And you will have access to more than 100 years of boxing history. So with that said, I believe they have a special feature on the Ring archives. And I definitely want everybody who's in this room, if you're a hardcore fan, if you're a fighter, if you're just here as a guest and you're just happy to be here and you're not totally in love, you're not a complete sick maniac like me who eats, sleeps, and breathes boxing, access these archives and you're going to learn about the legends of the past. And you'll know that tonight you were sitting among the future legends because the Fighter of the Year award has been awarded 97 times. This will be the 97th time, the 97th year a Fighter of the Year was awarded by Ring Magazine. It'll be the 80th year in a row for the Round of the Year and Fight of the Year. So the winners and even the nominees of these awards, they're part of that rich history. Their names are now connected with the greatest of the great, the legends of the sport. And without further ado, we're going to show this feature on the Ring archives. Thank you.
You were there at the dawn of a century when the first bell rang and men stepped onto the canvas to etch their names in time. Paper became memory. Ink became witness. Every page a round in the endless fight of history. Through kings and champions, wars and ages, you counted the minutes of our sport as the clock ticked away the hours of our world. But now the paper breathes again. Ink becomes light, the touch of pages, the crackle of memory, transformed to a screen yet undeterred from its path. The ring endures, not as a relic, but as a living archive. A century of triumph and heartbreak, of fists and blood, reborn for every eye, for every hand, for every fan who dares to remember. You are time itself, measured not in minutes, but in moments, not in clocks, but in legacy. The ring, eternal.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me just go get off script for just a moment so you can see what a great night this is in the world of boxing. Take a look across the table, look to your left, look to your right, and almost everyone, your eyes will fall upon a member of the Boxing Hall of Fame or a future member of the Boxing Hall of Fame. What a great night it is to be a fan in this room tonight. So now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, let's thank our great event sponsors. The official presenting sponsor is SMC, and the official event bronze sponsors are Red Sea Global and Qadiyah City. So now we're in for an incredible evening. I see the food is coming to the table. That's a good sign. And we're here to honor and celebrate those who have made 2025 such a fantastic year in boxing. So at this time, please welcome our awards host, the one, the only, Mr. Max Kellerman.
Thank you, Michael. Everyone, it's an absolute honor and privilege to be asked to present the Ring Awards, and it is thanks to His Excellency's vision and passion for the sport that we love that we're all here tonight. No turkey I'll shake, none of this. Boxing has not been treated like this with the respect it deserves, maybe ever, but certainly not anything like this since long before I was born. And I'm grateful to be a part of its renaissance, so turkey I'll shake, thank you. The successful relaunch of the Ring magazine has breathed new life into a publication that is once again the bedrock of boxing. And today, it's perhaps as strong, maybe even stronger than it's ever been. And ever for the Ring dates back to 1922, which is that's the year the first Ring belt was awarded. It was awarded to heavyweight champion Jack Dempsey. So when we say, if I tell you this has maybe never been like it is now, we're going back to 1922 and Jack Dempsey. The Ring has a new website, a dedicated app, and a weekly show every Monday on DAZN. By the way, it's a tremendous show. I never miss an episode. The Ring is leading the way into the heart of the 21st century. Social engagement numbers certainly bear this out.
The Ring Magazine.
And what a year it's been. The Ring magazine, as I mentioned, it's bigger and better than ever. And of course, the reason we have this magnificent event tonight, and it's magnificent, unlike boxing has had in the past, it's to officially and properly recognize the achievements of the past year. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to begin the Ring Awards 2025. My predecessor at HBO Boxing years ago, Larry Merchant, in one of his many great turnings of a phrase, described boxing as the theater of the unexpected, and no stage is more electrifying than a boxing ring, right, during a truly unforgettable round. These moments that I'm describing define careers, capture our imagination, and remind us why, at boxing's best, it's not only better than every other sport, I'm sorry, it's better than every other form of entertainment. In 2025, boxing produced rounds that had us holding our breath, shouting at the screen, and leaping from our seats. Here to present the round of the year is a man who is no stranger to producing drama in the ring himself, the reigning cruiserweight champion of the whole wide world, Jai Opetaia.
The nominees for Round of the Year are
Callum Smith versus Joshua Buatsi. The British light heavyweights served up a brutal battle in Riyadh, with round 6 summing up the contest. Both men landed significant shots to rock the other. Mundo would eventually prevail on points. Filip Hrgović versus David Adelaide. This heavyweight shootout reached a dramatic peak in round 8, when Hrgović landed a savage right hand to drop Adelaide, only for the Brit to beat the count and storm back with a furious flurry of punches that briefly wobbled the Croatian, who eventually won by unanimous decision. The WBA bantamweight title was on the line when Japanese duo Seiya Tsutsumi and Daigo Higa rematched in Tokyo. What followed was a wild war in which both men hit the deck in an incredible 9th round. For the second time, the judges couldn't split them as the contest ended in another draw. Kensho Taraji versus Saigo Yuri Akui. The WBC and WBA flyweight titles were up for grabs, and going into the 12th and final round, Akui was ahead on the scorecards. Then Taraji summoned a sensational late surge to earn the stoppage victory and claim the gold. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. The first encounter between these born rivals was an epic toe-to-toe tussle, which culminated in a frantic final round that saw both fighters lay it all on the line in a last-ditch attempt to sway the judges. In the end, it was Eubank Jr. who got the nod.
The winner is Sasumi and Hinga.
Hello. I'm WBA bantamweight champion Seiya Tsutsumi. ここからはもうわかんないんで、ここからは日本語で話します。
Start speaking Japanese from here.
今回はこのような素晴らしい賞を、いただくことができてとても光栄に思います。
I'm very honored to receive such a wonderful award.
この対戦相手の比嘉大吾は僕の高校時代からの、親友です。
My opponent, Higa, is actually my best friend from high school.
この大事な友人と、作り上げたこの試合が、このような、 賞を受賞することができて、本当に誇らしく思います。
I'm very grateful that I was able to fight a great friend of mine and put on a great show together.
そうだな。この試合は僕は勝てずにドローだったんですけど、とても、こういうね、賞のおかげで、より、生涯に残る試合になりました。
I was hoping to win this fight, but unfortunately I was not able to, but I'm still pleased with the outcome.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So, I don't know about you, but to me, the greatest thing about sports is this is especially true of boxing. The athletes write their own scripts. The guy who's brought in as an underdog, a stepping stone for the favorite, the rising fighter, the fighter who's on to bigger and better things, right? But that underdog sometimes decides, I'm not playing the role. That's not the role I'm here for, that the rest of the world has in mind for me, right? I'm not the other guy tonight. This is my story. I'm the protagonist. I'm the star. This award right now is for those fighters, the fighters who ignored the doubters, defied the odds, and shocked the world. They're an inspiration for all of us in our own lives. And this award honors that, and it honors them. And here to present the Upset of the Year award is a man who pulled off maybe the greatest upset in sports history. So as soon as I say that, you know who I'm talking about. He knocked out the, at the time, undefeated, undisputed, and thought to be invincible heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson. And he did it as a 42-1 underdog. He didn't have a shot. They just forgot to tell Buster that he didn't have a shot because he believed he did. It's James Buster Douglas, ladies and gentlemen.
Here are the nominees for Upset of the Year.
Rolando Romero beats Ryan Garcia. Rolly arrived in New York as a significant underdog against Ryan Garcia, but he took full advantage of Garcia's inactivity, dropping King Rai in the second and outboxing him to earn a deserved unanimous decision. Echo Esseman defeats Josh Taylor. This bout was meant to mark Taylor's triumphant return, but Esseman hadn't read the script and instead caused a seismic upset with the performance of his career to defeat the former undisputed light welterweight champion in his own backyard. Armando Resendez beats Caleb Plant. Plant was fighting in front of his home crowd in Las Vegas and was the heavy betting favorite going into the contest. But the Mexican Resendez fought like a man possessed to win a shock split decision and claim the biggest win of his career. Ricardo Sandoval beats Kenshiro Taraji. California native Sandoval traveled to Japan and was given little chance of dethroning the home favorite. Any hope looked lost in round 5, but incredibly, Sandoval picked himself off the canvas to dethrone the flyweight champion by split decision. Fabio Wardley beats Joseph Parker. The former white-collar fighter was being outboxed by the one-time world heavyweight champion, but in the penultimate round, Wardley produced a devastating combination to force the shock stoppage and clinch the WBO interim title.
And the winner is Armando Resendez.
Bueno, primero que nada, quiero agradecer a Dios.
First of all, I would like to thank God
por tenerme donde me tiene y llevarme a donde me lleva.
For taking me where I've been and where I'm at right now.
Me siento muy contento, muy agradecido con todas las personas encargadas de llevar a cabo esto.
I'm very happy and very thankful for everything that is happening to me.
Me siento ahora más comprometido a dar mejores peleas y brindarme siempre al 100% en el ring.
I feel more compromised now that I have to give 100% every time I fight.
No puedo dejar afuera a mi equipo, agradecer a mi entrenador Manny Robles, a mi coach también Edgar Jasso y a mi preparador físico Matías Servín. Son un tremendo equipo, me siento súper contento con ellos.
I would like to thank everybody in my team, my trainer, my physical trainer, and everybody in the team.
Somos un gran equipo, somos una familia. Quiero agradecer a mis padres, a mi esposa y a mi bebé que me dio ese motor extra para salir adelante.
We're a great team. We're a family, basically. I would like to thank my wife, my father, my parents, and my baby.
Gracias a todos, felicidades a todos los nominados somos unos ganadores, porque hay que ser un ganador para subirse al ring.
Thank you very much. Thank you for everything, and congratulations also for the other nominees.
So our next award is about recognizing our great sport's next great star. The Prospect of the Year is awarded to a fighter who's demonstrated exceptional talent, of course, by turning in outstanding performances. These nominees are the athletes who make us all sit up, take notice, and most of all, believe we're witnessing potential greatness. And speaking of potential greatness, here to present the Prospect of the Year is the reigning Ring Magazine World Welterweight Champ, and a fighter many believe will someday in the not-too-distant future be recognized as the pound-for-pound king. Jaron Boots Ennis.
Here are the nominees for Prospect of the Year.
Emiliano Vargas. The youngest son of former world champion Fernando Vargas, Emiliano is emerging as a star in his own right, with 2025 proving to be a breakout year for the 21-year-old. El General picked up 4 wins in 4 outings, with 3 of those inside just 2 rounds to become a genuine contender for a world title shot in 2026. Ryuto Tsutsumi, the Ring Magazine ambassador, made his professional debut in Times Square last May and hasn't looked back since, winning all 4 of his fights, with the last 3 by stoppage. That included stealing the show at Ring 5 Night of the Samurai with a 4th-round TKO over Lebardo Sanchez. Ben Whitaker, the Olympic silver medalist, has garnered plenty of attention for his boxing bravado, but in 2025 he proved that his style has significant substance with 2 impressive early knockouts and a brand new promotional deal with Matchroom. Jean Orobio, the Canada-based Colombian, enjoyed a great 2025, winning all 4 of his bouts, with the last 3 all by stoppage. El Tigre is establishing himself as a real threat to the super lightweight division and already boasts an impressive pro record of 16-0 with 14 KO. Pat Brown. After a stellar amateur career, Brown finally turned pro in 2025 and has wasted no time in announcing himself as one to watch at cruiserweight. He's demolished all 5 of his opponents inside the distance, living up to his alias of the Bomber.
And the winner is Emiliano Vargas.
First and foremost, I want to thank God, man. God is so good. I'm surrounded by greatness, from the trainers to the fighters I've looked up to as a kid. I feel like a kid in a candy store, and I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed to be here. I stand on the shoulders of my father and my mother, who's worked insanely hard to be here. And I can't wait to continue to win. I'm in the pursuit of greatness. And along that pursuit of greatness, there's milestones. And this is definitely one of those milestones. So I want to thank the ring. I want to thank everyone associated, my father, my trainer. I'm very blessed. Tune in February 28th, live on DAZN. I can't wait to continue to win. And like I said, this is a milestone along that pursuit to greatness. And just like every legendary fighter who's sitting here, I know I'm going to be great. And I carry that with me into every fight, into every training camp. And like I said, tune in February 28th. You know, I'm going to make another statement in 2026. Thank you, everyone. God is the greatest.
So our next award of the evening is a very special one to me, really, because without revealing who it's going to, I'll just say it's a man who's had a tremendous influence on the way I think and present my thoughts publicly, from a distance, from afar. Tonight we recognize the dedication, effort, and achievements of one of boxing's most significant figures, in my opinion. Here to present the Lifetime Achievement Award is Ring Magazine CEO Rick Reno.
The winner and this year's recipient of the 2025 Lifetime Achievement Award for Ring Magazine is a broadcasting legend, Larry Merchant.
Larry Merchant is widely regarded as one of the most influential figures in the history of boxing broadcasting. A respected and revered sports writer, he joined HBO in 1978 and provided expert analysis in his own unique style until 2012. He was known for his blunt, often provocative post-fight interviews and sharp one-liners. Inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame in 2009, tonight we celebrate a unique star of the media whose voice was the soundtrack to some of the greatest moments in boxing history.
You know, Larry was a man of integrity and guts. He didn't carry water for the network. He didn't carry water for the house fighters. He didn't carry water for the star of the network. If he saw a fight and he thought that fight was crap, he would tell you the fight was crap. He spoke for the people, and when I say the people, the boxing fans. Some of his post-fight interviews were actually more entertaining and had more action than the actual fights themselves. I recall there's so many memorable moments in my head. One of them, I remember with Bernard Hopkins, who I know is down here, hopefully doesn't come after me when I get off the stage. Bernard got roped into this mandatory defense that he had to make to keep his title. It was a very sore on the eyes to watch this fight, and afterwards Larry says to him, "Bernard, weren't you embarrassed by this?" And Bernard says to him, "Larry, I know I got paid tonight." And Larry zinged him right back and said, "Bernard, I can assure you it'll be the last time." And I remember the late Vernon Forrest pulled off a massive upset over Sugar Shane Mosley. At the time, Mosley was undefeated. He was recognized by many as one of the pound-for-pound best. And Vernon turned to Larry in the post-fight interview and said, "Larry, you guys at HBO had him as pound-for-pound number one. That makes me pound-for-pound number one." And Larry turned to him and said, "Vernon, just because you beat Tiger Woods doesn't make you Tiger Woods." And who can forget Larry going toe-to-toe with Floyd Mayweather before a crowd of millions on pay-per-view. He's criticizing Floyd's performance. Floyd is calling for his termination from the network, and this is playing out live. And Larry turns to him and says, "I wish I were 50 years younger, and I'd kick your ass." Unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, Larry couldn't be with us tonight, but he was overwhelmed by this honor, and he sent a special video. So enough from me. Let's hear from the man himself.
Thank you, Ring Magazine and the great Doug Fisher for this award. I'm not used to getting awarded, but this seems special. Thank you again. I had a 30-year career at HBO, 30 years, and they put up with my act. Example, Roy Jones, one of the stars of his time, had a multi-fight contract with HBO. But Roy Jones and his handlers decided to use that contract to fight the feeblest opposition they could find. And after one of those fights, I said something like, we like to bring you great fights, but tonight we brought you junk. A few weeks later, I bumped into Seth Abraham, the executive in charge of sports in HBO. He put his arms on my shoulders and said, "You make my job harder," meaning negotiating with the Jones team or any other team. And I smiled, and he said, "But keep doing what you're doing." So my advice to all my old pals out there in the boxing world, find the guy in your building who gets it. The guy in your building who understands what good television is and gives you a long, long road, a long career with it. Thank you. And drink up.
And accepting the award on Larry's behalf is an HBO boxing alumni, a Hall of Famer, and the former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis.
Well, I never expected this, but Larry's spent a long time in the sport as an announcer, and you know, I wish he was here, but he's definitely a stable in boxing, and he's been there a while, so if he was here today, he would say thank you. So thank you on behalf of Larry Merchant.
Want to have some fun, travel the world calling fights with Lennox Lewis. I could tell you from firsthand experience, you get treated very well. In addition to celebrating those who do the actual fighting, we tonight also honor those who dedicate themselves behind the scenes to getting those fighters ready. What the public sees of boxing trainers is mostly their work in the fighter's corner between rounds, and great trainers are often, among other things, great cornermen. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's the tireless work in the gym. It's the mapping out of strategy before the work in the gym even begins. It's oftentimes being a father figure and trusted advisor. A great trainer helps make the fighter the best version of themselves, help them realize their potential as boxers and sometimes even as people. And along those lines, I'd like to introduce a man who won this very award in 2017. It's Derek James.
And the nominees for Boxing Trainer of the Year are
Manny Robles. 2025 was another prosperous year for Robles, who has guided Mizuki Haruta's rise to dominance in the female game, as well as strategizing Armando Resendez's stunning upset of Caleb Plant. Robert Garcia, the winner of 2024's award, is bidding to retain the crown, having helped Jesse Rodriguez collect 2 more super flyweight titles, while Virgil Ortiz Jr. cemented his status as a world champion in the making. Rudy Hernandez. It's been another year of triumph for Hernandez, who saw Junto Nakatani confirm his position as the world's best bantamweight before a successful transition up to 122 pounds, while he also helped Anthony Alaskagla make 3 defenses of his WBO flyweight title. Shingo Inoue, the father and trainer of pound-for-pound superstar Naoya, has continued to steer the glittering career of the monster, who reigns supreme at super bantamweight after a history-making 4 successful defenses of the ring title in 2025. Brian McIntyre. Bomac drew up the game plan for Terrence Crawford to dominate Canelo Alvarez and retire as Ring Magazine's pound-for-pound #1, while also masterminding Keyshawn Davis to world title honors.
And the winner is Shingo Inoue. Unfortunately, he can't be here to accept the award tonight, but in his place, we have his promoter, John Lewis.
Thank you. What a beautiful place, beautiful venue, beautiful people. I represent Naoya Inoue and the whole team, and he's sorry he couldn't be here tonight. He wanted to thank the ring for everything and this wonderful, prestigious venue honor. And he also wanted to make sure that we say thank you special to His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh for all the love that he gave us last year in 2025. 5 title fights, 5 title defenses between Inoue and Takuma last year. Big, big year. So we hope to give you another great 2026. Thank you very much.
この度は名誉あるトレーナーオブザイヤーを受賞でき、大変光栄に思います。ザ・リングの皆様に心より感謝申し上げます。そしてトゥルキ・アラルシク閣下に特別な感謝を申し上げます。この1年間で名古屋4試合、タクマ1試合の世界戦を5試合行いましたが、常に全力で取り組んだ練習の成果が実を結ぶ結果になったことをとても嬉しく思います。この賞を受賞できたことは自分と共に頑張ってきた名古屋、タクマ、そして大橋会長、たくさんの方々のサポートと皆さんの応援あっての受賞と思っています。今後も皆さんに感動を与える試合を見せれるよう、さらに頑張っていきたいと思います。ありがとうございました。
Tonight is a celebration, of course, but it's also time for reflection. We want to take a moment now to remember those from the boxing family we lost in 2025. Now we're getting to the really good stuff, the fight of the year. That's been a great Ring Magazine tradition since the publication's inception 103 years ago. Harry Greb's win over Gene Tunney, which was the only loss of Gene Tunney's career, claimed the first honor. And since then, some of the most iconic moments in sport have been so recognized. Ali Frazier, Hagler Hearns, Holyfield Tyson, Gaddy Ward. I'm sure most of you in this room have your own favorites. Some new classics were added to the list of boxing's great fights in 2025, but only one can be the Ring Magazine Fight of the Year. So here to present the 2025 Fight of the Year is a man who just added a welterweight strap to the collection of belts he's won throughout his career over 3 divisions. Ladies and gentlemen, Devin Haney.
And the nominee for Fight of the Year is
Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol 2. The last crescendo was an eagerly anticipated rematch, and the Riyadh showdown didn't disappoint, as Bivol produced a boxing masterclass to avenge his first defeat in their first encounter and hand Beterbiev a first-ever career loss to claim the Ring Magazine an undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world. Chris Eubank versus Conor Benn. After years of simmering tension and controversy, born rivals finally came head-to-head on April 26th at a sold-out Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And what followed was a British classic, as Eubank Jr. edged a sensational scrap on points and a bout worthy of their famous fathers. Naoya Inoue versus Ramon Cardenas. An explosive battle for the undisputed Super Bantamweight Championship saw the undefeated Inoue survive a shocking second-round knockdown before rallying to triumph in the 8th by TKO and solidify his pound-for-pound status. Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes. This brutal back-and-forth battle stole the show at Ring 4 Night of Champions, and while Noakes proved he belonged at world level, it was 21-year-old Mason who claimed the vacant WBO lightweight title by unanimous decision to become the world's youngest male champion. Kenshiro Teraji versus Seigo Yuri Akui. Tokyo played host to an all-Japanese flyweight unification bout. Behind on the cards going into the 12th and final round, WBC champ Teraji produced a stunning late barrage of blows to stop Akui and add the WBA strap to his collection in dramatic fashion.
And the winners are Chris Eubank and Conor Benn.
Well, 2025 was, it was a hell of a year for me. I experienced the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows, as did this man, ironically enough. What we did in April has earned us Fight of the Year, but I think this particular fight, it will go down in history. It will be remembered forever, and that's all that any fighter can ever really dream to achieve during their career. So I'm humbled, I'm grateful, I'm proud, and thank you to everyone that was involved in the fight.
Just want to say a big thank you to everyone involved in making the fight happen. A lot of people thought that, it wouldn't live up to the hype of our dads. And, it's safe to say that, it did. And, it's a privilege to deliver entertainment for the public, for Fight of the Year. So, yeah, it's a blessing to be here. And, a big thank you to everyone involved. And most of all, a big thank you to you, Chris, because this fight wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for you. And it takes two to tango, and you brought that out of me. So, credit to you. Thank you, guys.
What a fight. I mean, with the storylines and everything, it didn't even, seem real. So, unlike basketball or football or tennis or what in America we call soccer, a boxing match can end at any moment. Talk about drama. A sporting event could end like that. And then you think about the one-punch knockout, the instant and literal imposition of one man's will on another. And it occurs by literally separating the other guy from his own will. His mind can no longer control his own body. Is there a more dramatic, more electrifying moment in sports or entertainment? We had some incredible highlight reel knockouts in 2025, but which one was the Ring Magazine Knockout of the Year? Here to reveal that answer and present the award is a man whose right hand is in the conversation for greatest single knockout punch of all time. A guy about whom Tyson Fury said, quote, fighting him is like holding a stick of dynamite in your hands. Ladies and gentlemen, Deontay Wilder.
And here are all these nominees.
Brian Norman Jr. Norman had said the storm was coming, and he blew Jin Sasaki away in Tokyo, dropping the Japanese fighter twice in the opening round before finally delivering an explosive one-punch KO in the fifth to retain his WBO welterweight title in style. Fabio Wardley. Trailing on the scorecards and facing certain defeat to Justice Hooney, Wardley pulled a rabbit out of his hat in the 10th round with a stunning right hand to flatten the Australian and send a partisan home crowd in Ipswich, England, into delirium. Jesse Rodriguez. Bam showed why he's the best super flyweight in the world, uncorking a lethal left hand to score a 10th round stoppage over previously unbeaten Fernando Martinez to unify the division. Alexander Usyk. With the undisputed heavyweight championship on the line for the first time ever on English soil, Usyk dashed the dreams of Britain's Daniel Dubois with a devastating 5th round KO to regain his crown as heavyweight king. Frank Martin. After 18 months out of the ring, the Ghost returned in haunting fashion with a brutal round 4 knockout of Rancis Barthélemy. It was his debut at 140 pounds and put the light welterweight division on notice for 2026.
And your winner is Brian Norman.
First and foremost, I just want to thank God for just, I'm going to say, bless me with this country strength, just like my boy Deontay Wilder right here. But also thank you to my team, Fighters First Management, my pops, Jolene Mazzone, my boy AC Clark, Adrian Clark. I do have an announcement to make, though. I am starting my own promotional company, Throwback Boxing Promotions, and I do have the legendary Jolene Mazzone herself managing and promoting and doing her job and doing her thing as well. She is a Hall of Fame promoter for a reason, and y'all about to watch her do her job. And the last thing I want to leave y'all with is you can't change yesterday, but you can dictate your future and make everything count. Tomorrow will still come. Make sure you do the right things today. Thank y'all.
All right, we've arrived at the moment that you've all been waiting for, presumably, the moment when we finally recognize the best fighter of the year. Someone's excited. First up, the best female fighter of the year. This award celebrates excellence, yes, but also the trailblazing achievements of women in boxing. These ladies have not only displayed their skill and determination, of course, but in so doing have also inspired millions around the world while leaving an indelible mark on the sport. Here to present the award for Female Fighter of the Year is one of our sport's most talented and charismatic figures, the reigning unified super featherweight champion of the world, the Bomb, Alicia Baumgartner.
And here are the nominees for Female Fighter of the Year.
Ellie Scottney raced out of the blocks in 2025. In January, she made a successful first defense of her unified super bantamweight crown by defeating Mia Motu by unanimous decision. And by July, Scottney had added the WBA strap to her collection after a dominant beatdown over Mercado, which also saw her claim the Ring Magazine title. Katie Taylor cemented her legacy as one of the greatest female fighters of all time in 2025. The reigning undisputed super lightweight champion completed an epic trilogy against Amanda Serrano to retain her titles and remain Ring Magazine's pound-for-pound #1. Michaela Mayer won world titles at 2 different weights in 2025. First in March, she successfully rematched Sandy Ryan to retain the WBO welterweight strap. Then in October, she stepped up to 154 pounds, outclassing Mary Spencer to claim the vacant WBC, WBA, and WBO belts. No female fighter has been busier than Mizuki Hiruta in 2025. The Japanese star made 4 successful defenses of her WBO super flyweight title between January and November. To make the achievement even more impressive, she made them all on foreign soil. Evelyn Bermudez established herself as the real deal at light flyweight in 2025. The Little Princess made the 3rd successful defense of her unified WBO and IBF titles against Tenkai Tsunami in March, and then 6 months later added the WBA strap to her collection with a devastating first-round KO, Sarah Bailey.
And the winner of the Ring Magazine Female Fighter of the Year of 2025 is Mizuki.
I'm so panicked. Sorry. Thank you so much to the Ring Magazine for this amazing opportunity. And thank you for my team. And thank you for my best coach, Manny Robles. Thank you. I will keep working hard. I want to be a superstar. I want to be a chingona. Eso. Yes, we can. Si se puede, no pasa nada. Gracias. Thank you.
Okay, our final award of the evening, Male Fighter of the Year. This has traditionally been among the most prestigious honors in sports worldwide. Fighter of the Year. Win this award once, and you are in a very select group in the history of boxing, alongside the likes of Jose Napoles. How many of you remember him? Welterweight champ. Carlos Monzon, Tony Zale, Emil Griffith. Win it more than once, and you're on a list with Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson, and Joe Louis. Here to present the 2025 Ring Magazine Male Fighter of the Year Award is a man who was on that list with Ali and Robinson and Louis, the former undisputed Ring Magazine Cruiserweight champion and reigning undefeated Ring Magazine undisputed. Who could possibly dispute his claim to the championship? Ring Magazine heavyweight champion of the world, one of the greatest fighters pound for pound in the history of boxing, two-time Ring Magazine Male Fighter of the Year, ladies and gentlemen, Alexander Usyk.
Hi everyone. Here is a moment for main fighter of the year.
Dmitry Bivol may have only had one fight in 2025, but it was a career-defining one as he avenged the only loss of his professional career to outclass and outpoint Artur Beterbiev to become the Ring Magazine and undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world. Terrence Crawford made boxing history in September, beating Canelo Alvarez to become the first male fighter in the modern era to hold undisputed titles in 3 weight divisions. 3 months later, Bud hung up the gloves, retiring with an undefeated record, winning 18 major world titles in an unprecedented 5 different weight classes, the definition of a modern legend. 2025 was strap season for Jesse Bam Rodriguez. The reigning WBC Super Flyweight King floored WBO champ Umalele Kafu to unify the division. Then in November, Bam stopped Fernando Martinez in style to add the WBA belt to his collection and cement his status as a pound-for-pound superstar. Naoya Inoue. No world champion had a busier 2025 than Naoya Inoue. The monster made history in December, beating Alan David Picasso to become the first fighter in 42 years to successfully defend the ring title 4 times in a calendar year and retain his crown as undisputed king at super bantamweight. It's been a fairy tale year for British heavyweight Fabio Wardley. He scored a stunning knockout of Justice Hooney to set up a shot at the WBO interim title. And the former white-collar fighter then produced a performance of a lifetime to stop Joseph Parker before being elevated to world champion just a few weeks later.
And the winner of the fighter of the year, it's Terence Crawford.
Put it over there. Woo-wee, I guess I did pay the cost to be the boss. Hey, but listen though, I want to thank Turkey, I want to thank Sella, I want to thank Riyadh, I want to thank The Ring, I want to thank Netflix, I want to thank my team, I want to thank everybody that had a part in making the fight with me and Canelo happen. I want to thank Canelo, his team. What way to end your career, you know. It's a blessing to be here. I'm thankful, I'm grateful, and anything's possible if you believe in yourself. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was our last award of the night, and what a night it's been. I mean, just at this table alone, it's like Lennox Lewis and Triple G and Canelo and Terence Crawford and Bernard Hopkins, and I'm leaving out a million people. We're all looking forward to what boxing has in store for 2026. And remember, Ring Magazine will be covering it all from every angle across all media platforms. I'd like to congratulate once again all the winners and also all the nominees who helped make 2025 another great year in the greatest sport in the world. And before everyone files out, because you know you go see a movie and sometimes like a comedy or something and you think the movie's over and the credits go and then you stick around because after the credits they give you a little something. We have something after the credits tonight, so stick around. For all of you watching on TV, until next time, good night. Just tell me when.
Welcome back here inside the beautiful Cipriani 25 as the Ring Awards have just wrapped up. I'm Kate Scott with the Ring Senior Insider Mike Coppinger, former world champ Sergio Mora. We just got to sit here at one of these tables, enjoy ourselves, and watch the awards happen. Any surprises for you, Mike?
I think maybe a slight surprise for me was Armando Resendez winning the upset of the year. Very worthy pick, of course. He beat Caleb Plant. I think he was like a 20-1 underdog, but I expected Rolly Romero because it was a more high-profile fight against Ryan Garcia, but props to Resendez.
Okay, absolutely. For you, Sergio?
I think everyone, they got it right. I love the fact that the fight of the year was Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. That was an incredible event. Resendez was an incredible comeback story. Fight of the year, of course, Bud. I personally would have thought Noah Inoue, but Bud Crawford, incredible what he did. So no surprises here.
What was one of your, I feel like one of your highlights having watched with you was seeing the winner of the Female Fighter of the Year talk about the fact that she wanted to be a chingona.
No, I love the fact that she was giving her congratulations speaking Spanish.
Very cool,
Chingona,
right?
si se puede. Credit to Mizuki and her Spanish.
Yeah, it was very cool. Female Fighter of the Year, any thoughts? I think we were maybe expecting Katie Taylor because of the fight against Amanda Serrano and sealing that trilogy in the kind of definitive way that she did. What did you think?
I mean, as far as the acceptance speeches, that was the highlight of the night. I mean, that's the passion, how excited she was, her goals and ambitions. So I think it was great to see. She really appreciated it.
Knockout of the year. Very cool to see Deontay Wilder make an appearance here and hand out that award, very fittingly handing out that award. You thought that was the right pick?
Oh, yeah. No, I think that overall, that was hands down the scariest knockout. By scary, I mean beautiful. Going to Japan to knock out a Japanese contender. I mean, it's incredible. Brian Norman Jr. did rightfully knockout of the year.
Can we also talk about the fact that we got to see Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. go up onto the stage at the same time together? I know that was, maybe the intention if that fight won to have both fighters go up, but I thought it was unlikely personally, but it happened and it went down well.
Yeah, I think it's really settled now. I mean, they're never going to be friends, as Conor Benn has told me. It's just not his cup of tea as a person, Chris Eubank. But I think it's settled as far as them hating each other. They had an amazing fight in April, and then, of course, in November, it wasn't an amazing fight, but it was a great victory for Conor Benn. So they both move onward and upward.
Absolutely.
One win apiece. They were a little bit cordial for me. I mean, it was maybe the suits and everything like that. I would love to have seen a little bit more of that bad blood, but credit to both of them, Eubank and Benn, much deserved.
Yes, absolutely. Really has been just a great night reflecting on the very best that boxing gave us in 2025. There's so much to look forward to, of course, in 2026 as well. Not least one of the best fights possible tomorrow night. We're going to head uptown to Madison Square Garden where Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson top the bill of what is just another absolutely stellar card at Ring 6. We would love for you guys to join us tomorrow. We're on air from 6 p.m. Eastern, which is 11 p.m. in the UK. Until then, all three of us would like to say thank you so much for joining us. From all of us here at Broadway, have a wonderful evening. Good night.
Don't miss the biggest nights in MMA.
We are now set for the main event.
to play for, which is so exciting. These teams have to come in here and give it their all.
Have a real nice tempo. Goes baseline, watch out. Oh, my! Oh, baby! All the way down the runway for a big-time throwdown.
That's a